One is a grown man with an encyclopedic knowledge of cinema. The other, a man-child raised by the more questionable corners of the internet. What happens when they each dive into something the other one loves? Find out on
The Man with No Brain. Hey everybody, welcome to a very special episode of The Man with No Brain. As always, I'm your host, Ryan Matthew Ziegler, and I am joined by the man with no brain himself, a guy who's been through it the last couple of weeks, Mr. Joseph Robert Buckley. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing okay. I've been resting up. I've been doing a lot of rest. I really believe in the rest regimen, so I've been getting about maybe 10 to 14 hours of sleep a day minimum. I mean, that's the minimum I believe in. But yeah, no, I've been slowly healing up and getting back to normal.
So, the audio quality is a little bit different because I am recording this in a different place than usual, and the internet's not strong, so I'm on my phone. So hearing Joe on the phone through my ear, it's not any better than hearing it through headphones.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, it's really disturbing, is the issue. It makes it sound like I'm the Blair Witch, and I'm just dialing in your phone.
Yeah, because there was that scene in Blair Witch where she used a telephone. I remember that scene. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part of the film.
Project, Joe Buckley?
I have seen the Blair Witch. I've seen the Blair Witch Project. I have seen it. It was very good. I enjoyed it.
Okay. I don't want to come at you too hard this episode because this episode is mostly about, how fortunate we are to still have you around after the events of the last couple of weeks. So I'm not going to, you get a bit of a pass on my normal
Thank you.
coming at you hard for some of your movie stuff than usual.
Okay.
But,
so I can talk a little bit about David Lynch this one.
I'd rather you not.
Okay.
But we're doing fantastic questions, mostly pertaining to the fact that Joe, a couple of weeks ago, was involved in a very serious car accident, one vehicle accident. And he's, I would say you're very lucky to be here with us, knowing what I know of the accident. Do you care to go into that a little bit, Joe?
Well, let me read the newspaper article first about Joe's accident.
Oh, yeah.
This is from the local news. A 26-year-old Grand Ridge man was injured in a single-vehicle car crash at 7 p.m. Tuesday on North 2150th Road, 500 feet east of East. Fucking hell! God damn it! For some reason, they used letters in these numbers, like Roman numerals. 500 feet east of East 1125th Road in Deer Park Township, the LaSalle County Sheriff's Office said. Joseph Buckley was injured after he lost control of his vehicle while negotiating the curve on North 2150th Road, entered the north ditch, and overturned multiple times in the field, deputies said. He was cited on complaints of failure to reduce speed to avoid accident, no seatbelt when required, and improper lane usage. Deputies said Buckley was taken to OSF St. Elizabeth Medical Center in Ottawa, but a hospital spokesman said there was no record of Buckley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I don't understand what that means. Why, the investigative journalist called to get the record. Just give me the facts about this accident. And they say, we have no record of Mr. Buckley. Who are they trying to protect, Joe? What's the cover-up?
Well, I mean, I had no insurance, so the hospital may be looking for me. They may be out to break my legs, just really rough up my legs again. So maybe the newspaper was trying to protect me.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny at the end of it. No record of Buckley.
Yeah. Well, the fact that they said Buckley, they just said Buckley. They didn't say Mr. Joseph Buckley. It's just that they're addressing Joe already like we do. They've just in the matter of like 7 sentences, they completely lost respect for Joe.
Well, they're the part of the 12 hardcore fans of the Benevolent Buckley or the Man with No Brain. So,
well,
I understand.
Joe, I would like to understand better what took place that evening. I believe this was around 6 or 7 p.m. that day that this happened.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to posit a couple things I heard initially, and then I would rather you just kind of explain what took place. But initially, there was discussion of broken ribs, broken arm, ultimately not the case. Curious how that came about, and then how did ultimately end up with a fractured lower back and a fractured sternum. But then there was many times I was told that you were ejected from the vehicle, but then when I saw you the day after the accident, you shook your head no. But then your dad walked in the room. We didn't really discuss it further. So if you could just kind of give us the rundown of where you were headed, and what happened.
Okay, I believe the ejected thing may have came from a grandmother. I think I might have had a little bit of a confused grandmother, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had been working over at a comic book shop for a couple weeks now. We'll have to do an episode about that. And I had just got done. It was probably from I was showing up from 9 to 6. So it had been a long working week. So I was a little bit tired coming home. And and I was just kind of listening to a podcast. So
what podcast was it? The Man with No Brain, Malevolent Movies? Were you listening to Malevolent Movies?
I believe it may have been Cumtown.
He knows it was Cumtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could have been the last thing you heard on this earth, Joe. Just keep that in mind for future content, consumption. That could have been the very last thing you heard on this earth.
It would have been it would have been a you're gay with your dad rap battle episode.
We're gonna have to move pretty quickly, Joe. Our first guest comes on in 7 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
that's okay. We got stuck a little behind because we're trying to navigate the audio issues with Ryan.
Yeah, I get it. And I'm sending you all the pictures I have now, Tyler. I forgot to do that beforehand.
Oh, it's okay. I got it pulled up on the map where you went off the road too.
Oh, okay. Oh, even Google knows about this already. That's good of them.
Okay, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. So I was a little bit tired, so I veered very slightly left, I guess, it would have been right. I veered very slightly right, and I ended up a couple of my 2 of my wheels are in the gravel. So I was like, ah, shit, that's not right. So I went left to try to fix that, and I guess I went way left because I ended up going into the ditch part of it, and then by then my car started flipping over. I think I flipped it maybe about 3 to 4 times. And I was conscious the whole way through.
So this was this was a gradual turn, very gradual left turn. And I'm not trying to underscore and make it sound like you're an idiot and that's what caused the accident. But the road was curving to the left, and as you were stating, you're on the right side of the road, and this is one of those places in the country where there's probably a 4 to 5 foot drop from where the road is to down to where the ground is, because they gradually build it up because it's out in cornfields. And so I'm assuming what Joe was saying is that, maybe the right side of the vehicle, the tires went off the pavement part, and then there's usually about a foot or 2 of gravel on the side before it starts to slope down to the cornfields. And you tried to correct to get back on the road, but overcorrected. And Joe's showing me pictures where you can see tire marks, where I'm assuming you either put the pedal to the metal or you hit the brakes, because it's very clear where you were going. You can see the tire marks very clearly, both in the grass, where you went airborne, and then where you ended up in the cornfield.
Yeah. I just went and then I just ended up right over there, I guess.
Yeah.
So I landed in the corn, and then so basically my wheel had fallen off. I was really trying not to look around my vehicle too much because I didn't want to move my neck in case I had paralyzed myself. And then my phone. So basically I couldn't find my phone, so I was like, ah, shit. But luckily a couple farmers came over. They had heard it, so they called me the EMT. Probably took about an hour from the wreck to get me into a hospital. And I had let me think of the injuries. I had a big kind of cut marks on my right wrist, just from some glass, I think.
And Joe, then, as the article said, what were you not doing?
Oh, well, I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I put it on, sometimes I don't.
You see, I never questioned whether or not you did. And in fact, Tad told me initially a couple hours after the accident, he reached out to me, and I appreciate that, Tad. And even Tad said that, like, Joe, where's a seatbelt? And so this is really disappointing to hear that you don't wear your seatbelt, Joe, because like this was a serious accident. I mean, you're fucking lucky as hell that you only ended up with those 2 fractures. But like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, if those guys didn't hear you, how long could you have been out there? You know, like it's scary. And you just missed a utility pole. I'm like,
Yeah, that to me,
by
on top of everything
millimeters.
else, if you hit that head on, that would have been the end, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
I mean,
know.
that's what my dad said, yeah.
Yeah, because it's
So,
if you would have been ejected at that point. You would have gone through the windshield. Because and I'm looking at these pictures and it's right fucking there. It is right there. I hope this was a learning moment for you because I want you to be safe. I want you to be alive. But man, you gotta wear your seatbelt. You gotta wear it.
I normally do. I think I was just like tired that day coming back on, so I just kind of forgot to.
These are the takeaways from this accident. That since you're safe, you can take things away from this and learn from them. And one of them is, I get you're tired, but man, you got to keep on top of that because falling asleep. Obviously, it's not. There are more perils to being a driver than being drunk. Everyone's like, don't drink and drive, and we know that, and don't drive under the influence of any sort of things. That's what they say on the side of medical. When you get antibiotics or something, or it may cause drowsiness. Do not operate a vehicle, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Being tired while you're driving is just as dangerous, as driving under an influence, as you see. So in future, if there's a situation where you know yourself and you do, and you're tired and you've been working hard, maybe take the proper steps, in the future, grab some coffee, grab a sip, whatever, keep all the windows down if it's cold, keep you shivering, or call somebody. You know what I mean? Because this, and of course, wear your seatbelt on top of all that. You know what I mean? These are good takeaways from this situation.
Yeah. I was gonna say I ended up losing a tire. One of my tires fell off. Even.
Well, I'm looking at the picture.
It was a very serious accident.
I'm looking at the picture of the interior, and the steering wheel is basically off the housing. It's where Joe's feet would be. And Joe, your car's littered with junk as is. So, basically when you're in a rollover accident, that shit becomes missiles, Yeah. So I can understand, we've discussed this on the podcast. I'm going to assume you were probably speeding at the time because this is like a country road. Generally it's 55 miles an hour. Most people probably go 60 to 65. But were you, because you brag about going 80 on these roads?
No, I don't think I was doing that. I mean, I wasn't like watching my speed carefully, so I could have been going over the limit. I probably was going over like 60, 65 or something like that. I'm just not sure of what my speed was.
Well, you were ticketed, weren't you, for failure to reduce speed to avoid an accident? Wasn't that one of the tickets?
Yeah, but I think they can get anybody with that because like if you have an accident, that means you didn't reduce your speed. So you could have been doing 25 miles an hour on that road, and if you get in an accident, that means you didn't reduce your speed.
Well, I don't think the accident would look the same if you were going 25 versus going 75.
Yeah,
these guys
I'm not
that
sure.
checked this out. These guys that came out and checked out the accident. You know what I mean? They've been doing this. They can tell by the by how far your car went off the road, how much air, you know what I mean? There's these tells that these professionals can see, and they know if you were going 55 as opposed to 65 or 70.
We'll have to come back to this. Our first guest is waiting, so we'll double back on this conversation. But we got Baron coming in.
Ooh, can you hear me? It's okay. It's
Baron.
just messing with his audio, I'm sure.
Is it Baron?
Oh, here he
Trump?
goes.
Sorry, boys, it muted me.
Oh, okay. How you doing, man?
Yeah.
I'm doing great. How about you, gentlemen?
I'm a little sore, but I'm getting on.
Well, I got just the thing for that right here, Jeff.
Oh, you got some shine?
I got a little bit of spring water.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Now, Joe, I believe you have a history with this gentleman. Could you explain that?
Yes, yes. So this gentleman was very kind. He mailed me a whole jar of his homemade salt. Him and his father make salt for a living, and he mailed me a whole jar of it.
And you've been using it to plug up your wounds?
No, I haven't put any of it. That would hurt. That would sting.
It'll clean you out, Joe. It'll clean you out real well.
Yeah. I've been putting some on some roasted meats, and yeah, it's good.
Is it that real good salt from the Shire?
No shit, it's from a town called Saltville. Guess what they got?
Ooh. I know what they got. They got salt.
Nah, they got pepper.
They got
That's
pores.
the irony. Subverting your expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually a historical salt maker. I teach about it, I make it, and Joe's like, I offered him some, he's like, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll always take salt from the fans. If they got salt for me, I'll take it.
So okay, Baron, so since you're a salt expert, what is one fact about salt that will blow most people's minds?
Underneath the town of Saltville, geologists theorized there was enough salt to feed the entire town, or the entire world, for around 1,000 years or more.
Jesus.
Wow.
It was
That's a lot of salt.
The word salary actually comes from the Latin word salarium, where Romans would pay their soldiers in salt, due to it being close to its weight in gold.
So when people talk about celery salt, what are they talking about?
Celery salt?
Yeah, when you hear celery, like the green plant celery salt.
Oh. Celery. I've not actually heard that term. That might be more of a central thing.
I think so. I think you rub it on your partner's feet.
So is this in Virginia, Baron?
Yeah, Saltville, Virginia.
So do you work for the United Salt Corporation?
I used to, actually, but no. Not anymore. Me and my dad are independent.
Okay.
That's interesting, man. Yeah, I never even thought about the idea of creating salt. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that, obviously there's an industry, but yeah.
You just get some salt water, pour that bitch in a pot, boil it, evaporate the water, and you got fucking salt. Then you put it in a jar and you mail it to Joe.
Oh, yeah.
So Joe, being a connoisseur of salty foods, what can you tell us about his special salt? Can you tell the difference?
I think I did. I mean, I don't have like amazing taste buds, but I thought this stuff was like a little bit better than the stuff you find at the store.
Okay. And what's the granulation on it? Is it fine?
Oh, it's like a little thicker than the real like small stuff, but it's not like big like rock pile salt. It's not like big chunks.
Okay. Because I'm a big fan. I like popcorn quite a bit, and I have I have a lot of different popcorn accoutrement, and I have specific popcorn salt that I use, and specific popcorn oil that I use, and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about the granulation. I was like, oh, is this like is it more of a powdered? Is it
Yeah. Maybe you should get some of this stuff.
Hell, if you have the same P.O. box as Joe was using when he sent me an address, I'll send you a fucking jar.
Well, I mean, I don't, but I don't know when I'll see Joe again. But Joe has been known to send me things, so maybe if I talk real nice to Joe, he can just send me a little bit of what he's got. When he's up and around, and he can go to P.O. He's not supposed to be up and around. I know he has been, but he's supposed to be resting at home.
Joe,
for a while.
Have you been leaving your bed?
Oh, I did go and hang out with Tad for a day a couple days ago.
Now, I've tried to get to the root of this many times with you, and you do that thing where either you don't want to remember something or you genuinely don't remember something, but what did the doctor tell you? After you got out of the hospital, you went to the checkup. What did the doctor tell you you're supposed to do?
I mean, he said like, let me think.
God. One of the most serious incidents in your life, and you can't remember the details.
Yeah, these are note-taking times. These are
okay.
Is your family member, were you at least one parent there to get the details that you know that are just going to fly right out of your skull?
I would have been happy if Baron was on the phone. Like, just somebody.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I already trust Baron to keep the details. You know?
Yeah.
Joe,
Go ahead, Joe.
I think he said like rest, don't like try straining yourself, but I mean, I've been able to like walk around and kind of like get up and down the stairs and stuff like that without like any pain or any
now,
kind
when
of
you say
like
you've been able
straining.
to, are you saying that the doctor said he wants you to get up from time to time, or you're just saying you've gotten up and you don't feel anything?
Well, you do have to like get up every once in a while, because otherwise, if you just lay in bed all day, like it won't really help like the healing, and you can get bed sores and shit like that. I mean, I don't know if they recommended like going out for 6 hours or so, but they do recommend that you.
Yeah,
they
that was
do
the
recommend
concern.
that you like get up and about.
Well, here's my
long?
uber important question about the wreck, Joe, if you don't mind me asking.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Would it be accurate to say your pee-pee hurt?
Oh, you see, we just
Joe?
lost Baron. We just lost Baron.
No.
Joe, you can answer the question, Joe. But
I can.
You can't
Okay.
you can't say the word "my," the word "hurt," or the P word that can't be uttered, or you will be going against your plea. So you have to answer this question very carefully.
Okay. I mean, luckily, during the wreck, I mean, that part of the body was like one of the only parts that wasn't injured. So I was very, very lucky about that. I was able to masturbate.
It's always safely tucked inside his body.
No, not that.
It's like a turtle's head.
But no, I was able to masturbate a couple days after the incident. So luckily, everything was functioning as normal.
And how did you do that? Because you were up in your sister's bed when she used to live there.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Joe! Don't tell me.
So how would you? What were you using? Your cell phone?
My phone. Yeah.
Yikes, dude! Your parents are right across the hall.
And I had the volume like halfway up maybe, and I had a blanket over me. I
You didn't have headphones on?
No.
Oh, you know what's even worse? And I don't even want to say it out loud.
Oh, no.
I know you just finished all over yourself and didn't get up and clean. I know you did.
Please tell me you at least use earphones, like earbuds.
No, Joe doesn't have earbuds.
No, luckily there were some napkins in the room. There were some some paper towels. I was able to wipe my naked body off after.
Oh, God. Just pour some salt on it.
I mean, I got some guilty infection if you got any, Joe.
Ooh.
They do with vomit and sawdust.
Hey, let me tell you, I'm always down the shine, if you know what I mean. I'm like Rystar, that little Sega Genesis guy.
Oh my God.
No, that's a deep cut for the people who got it.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah. Great.
Higgins hasn't been on yet, has he? I know he's wanting to.
Yeah, he'll come on. Yeah, he hasn't been on yet.
So, can I ask a favor?
Oh, okay.
Big favor from Big Boy Bubby.
Oh, what's that?
When he comes on, ask him about a bone owl.
Bone L?
Owl. O-W-L.
Oh, owl. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
An owl made out of bone. Ask him about it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'll see what he has to say.
All right.
Yeah.
I was going to say spelling owl doesn't help Joe either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's that big bird-looking thing from Harry Potter's.
Oh, I know. I mean, I'm a big Twin Peaks fan. I'm a peeker. So the owls are not what they seem. I know about that.
Jesus. All right, Joe. Say goodbye to your guest.
I'm a window peeker.
We got it. We got another one in the room.
Okay.
I appreciate you boys having me on.
No,
Yeah,
it's nice
thank
to
you.
meet you, Baron.
Thanks for taking the time.
You can like plug your like online business if you want.
Oh, sure. I got one of my business cards here. There we go. I don't know if he'll fucking show up. Fuck it up. Fuck it. If you want to see me, just fucking message me on Discord. Fucking Blunderbard. If you want to see a Twitter that I barely use, hey Uncle Festus at twitter.com.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Either way, I don't give a fuck. I'll drink to you boys.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
Just don't drive and make sure to wear a seatbelt if you do.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, Baron. Have a good one, okay, bud?
You too.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah. See ya.
Always appreciated.
Okay, our next guest is here.
Okay.
I hope that this is the right person I'm bringing in.
No. It could just be a random.
Okay, is this Bumper?
Oh, is audio's connecting?
Audio's connecting.
Oh, yeah, this is Bumper. Can you hear me?
Okay, would you want to go by something else, or do you prefer Bumper?
Well, my name's Jake, but
Oh,
Okay.
I got a brother named Jake.
so I've heard many a time. I heard you poked him in the eye a whole bunch of times.
He deserved it. Every single time I poked him, he deserved it. He was being far too rude of a little boy, and I really had to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, he's being really rowdy, messing around with you, and you're playing GoldenEye, right?
Mm-hmm. And I got him square in the eye. He deserved it.
Yep, and then God got you back with this car accident.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, only 15 years too late, God. Your watch stopped working almighty? Cocksucker.
Well, speaking of your brother, I mean, does he still work as an EMT?
Yeah, he does. And he showed up at the hospital.
That's
It was
what I
like a bit
say.
later.
What has he been? He sees a lot of this kind of stuff. He's been on the scene of a lot of accidents, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
What did he have to say about all this?
I mean, he said I got lucky. He was just kind of concerned initially, about any kind of real damage. Whenever he saw he was able to see me in there for a while, and he could kind of see I wasn't too badly roughed up. But yeah.
But in comparison to some of the other accidents he's been on, I mean, you know,
well, I mean, in comparison, I mean, some people end up missing their heads.
Well, I know that, but I just mean, you know, in his estimation, I thought maybe he
has some context, some prior context.
How truly close to this being a fatal accident it was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, from what he's experienced, coming out of the scene.
Yeah, he didn't tell me anything like that. It was close to being fatal, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jake, do you have any questions for Joe? Do you want to know anything about his hopefully epiphany, his life epiphany?
Mm-hmm.
That life epiphany needs a job? I got you one if you need one, Joe.
Interesting.
Mm.
What's the work?
Mm.
So, I know you don't like to lift things. I hear you don't want to throw your back out. I'm the manager of a vineyard in New York.
Oh.
So, all you do is walk around all day.
Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great for Joe.
Yeah. In the rain, right? If it's raining, you walk around too?
Absolutely not. I know you don't like to get wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so would Joe be picking grapes?
Well, obviously only one time a year, and we have a big harvester for that. So you wouldn't need to actually pick any grapes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What would he be? What would be his? Let's say you hired Joe, and Joe's starts work on Monday. What are his duties?
Okay, so say it's peak season, right? We will do contracts, right? So, essentially, I will be spraying pesticides, and Joe could just sit in the truck all day and just make sure I don't die.
Oh.
That's part of the job. You will literally just
sitting.
sit. All you will do is sit in the truck all day. You can watch movies. You can play Clash of Clans, because I know you love Clash of Clans.
I do not like Clash of Clans. No, I remove it from my phone every time I see it.
Well, that means you just download it at some point.
Well, they tricked me. They may have tricked me a couple times. There's maybe a hot lady playing it. I see in an advert, and I'm like, maybe if I play the game, maybe I can fuck her a bit.
Yeah.
But then I realized, no, it's not going to happen like that. I delete Clash of Clans again.
So what are the hours that Joe would work?
8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Okay. So you'd have to get up, Joe. You wouldn't be sleeping until 2 in the afternoon. You'd have to readjust your weekdays. And would it be a Monday through Friday or the weekends?
Monday through Friday. Since you'll be working at a full winery, there's occasional weekends. It's very, very rare. It's like 2-3 times a year, if that.
Oh, okay.
And what's the pay, Jake?
$15.
Yeah,
that sounds like a pretty sweet gig, Joe. And I'm not just talking about them fermented grapes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you can drink wine at the job too. Because it is a winery.
Joe, with your limited experience and work experience and spotty history as an employee, you're not going to do better than that in the Illinois Valley.
Yeah.
Without someone pulling strings. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think you need to find a way, to get to New York.
Yeah, I need to take a bus up to New York.
Yeah, I mean, the winters are kind of shitty, but,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Joe doesn't go outside, that often in the cold, but he'd have to if he's employed. So
yeah, I don't really go outside either. However, there is one time a year you're going to have to go outside during the winter, and I did forget to mention this. So it's from pretty much March is when you're going to start working out in the vineyards. You'll be cutting kind of the dead stuff off the vines. It's not that bad if you dress appropriately, like wear a nice coat, winter boots, stuff like that.
Yeah, I used to be a detasseler, so I'm like experienced with like getting plants stuck in my sides.
Joe, you worked like 3 days as a detasseler, and you've talked longer than you've worked about it.
No. I worked for a couple weeks as a detasseler. I did a couple weeks until they fired me. They fired me for not stooping down low enough to pick the shit.
You might be getting confused, Tyler, with me because I detasseled for 2 days.
Either way, he's still talking about it way more than it deserves.
Yeah, it was awful. Well, I was like, you know what, screw this. And then I got a job at a radio station. I was like, this is better.
You're not picking corn off the microphones.
When I was when I was like 10 years old, they had me throwing hay bales. Those things weighed more than I did. Oh my God, it was the worst.
So have you worked at this vineyard a long time? Is it a family thing or you run it? What's the...
My parents own the winery. My dad was an ex-military, so he started this winery after he dropped out of the military. I've been doing it for 8 years myself. I graduated in 2013, so.
Okay.
This is frustrating how many successful members of society listen to this show. Jake, I'm very proud of you and your family and what you guys have achieved, but I'm so disappointed in you. We have 2 entrepreneurs on this episode alone. Very disappointing. You should be doing better with your life. Don't listen to Joe,
Just listen. I am a sealed Magic the Gathering investor. I have plenty of stock. I'm going to make so much money, I bet.
So,
well, since we got you here, I wanted to ask you then, being somebody who gets up every day, is a regular person out there doing his work and working with the family and being responsible. What is it about the man with no brain and listening to Joe that is appealing?
So the thing is Joe reminds me a lot of myself before I started drinking.
Okay.
So every year we do the New York State Fair. We sell wine slushies, things like that. I kind of just started, acting a little bit dumb in front of people, and you don't get drunk or anything. And I very rarely actually drink in the long run. But you just got to kind of let loose. You can't let people think you're stupid if you're hang on, I'm blanking here. You can't think yourself is going to be stupid because people don't care. I don't know if that's making any sense.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. But,
But like I said, I don't think you do because I don't really get myself. But like I said, dude, you remind me a lot of myself, and it's kind of funny.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because it's interesting to me thinking about Joe and the channel and the audience. And what is it about Joe that is appealing? I assume that there's a lot of people out there that relate to Joe in a lot of ways, but there are people out there that don't at all, but are still, enjoy the show. So is it just the character of Joe? Is it? It's something I think about as we've been doing this for the last year and several months. So.
Well, because you guys always talk about how he always talks big, right, in front of you guys, but if he was like out in a restaurant or whatever, he wouldn't talk about vaginas or farts or whatever.
Yeah,
Well, I have been scolded several times in restaurants for potty talk, as they call it.
He's gotten better. There have been times, and on the set of Butcher the Baker's a couple of years back, where he was scolded by the lead villain pretty harsh, and he put a scare into Joe, major scare into Joe.
No, he didn't. No,
scare into Joe, and
no, absolutely
I would think he has gotten better in that respect.
No, I had to shut down that lead actor. He was trying to tell me how to behave in front of my friends, and I had to say, well, no, I think you're wrong. But I didn't want to go making a big commotion about it. I didn't want to upset the lead actor enough to maybe have him walk out. I mean, the film comes first, so.
Yeah, that's
me and the person I so-called offended and a couple other people, we went and hung out in like a Jeep.
Oh, yeah, but anyway.
Glad you're taking your car accident seriously, Joe.
Well, I mean, I wasn't scolding him in the middle of my car accident. I didn't call up that lead actor and start saying, "Hey, you have to act better whenever you're on the set." That was very unprofessional what you did. I didn't do that whenever I was flipping. Yeah, I was scolding him.
All right. Well, we've got our next guest in the waiting room. Jake, do you have anything else you want to say?
No. It was a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it.
Good luck with the next wine season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Catch you guys later.
See ya.
Yeah.
My dad has a friend who makes wine out of like everything. Like just about every plant that exists, and he used to like drop it off at my parents' house, over the years. It'd just be this bottle. They'd come home and there'd just be this bottle of wine with a note. I made this bottle out of clover, and I made this wine out of, he was always inventing
sunflower
wine.
seeds.
I don't believe any of them were ever drank.
Alec, can you hear us?
Hi guys.
Yeah, hey there.
Hey Alex, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Joe's healing.
I'm doing better. I'm recovering. Yeah.
I was just about to ask, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, I got so at this point, like, I've just got like a little bit of like a pain sometimes, like in my like kind of like right part of like the chest where like that breastbone or whatever fractured. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that'll heal up soon.
Awesome, glad to hear it, man.
Yeah,
did the
I can't sleep.
Hey Joe, did the doctor give you a rough time estimate on how long those fractures heal?
No,
of course,
I didn't get nothing like that.
On you resting and doing he didn't say what's rough. Okay.
I'll tell you this: like, the hospital didn't even clean out the dirt from like my arm wounds. They just sent me on home with it.
Well, so you already pointed out that you don't have insurance. So
yes.
Was this a coordinated effort on behalf of yourself and your family that you guys were like, well, we can't keep you here any longer than we need you to be here due to the cost of it?
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe anybody ever said that.
So, but like, I get the feeling that your parents handled pretty much everything after the accident. Is that accurate?
I've been, somebody sent me some financial aid stuff through my email, and I filled that out, and I'm waiting for her to get back to me on that then. So far we haven't really gotten too much, with it. So I got my tickets, from the accident, so I've got like a court date for that.
How much do you owe?
But we don't, tickets only a couple hundred, that's not too bad.
But are you gonna, I would imagine that for some of those, you don't have a price on it yet. You're going to go get that at the court date.
I think we've got it all. So I got like a citation. I got like a warning for merging into the other lane to try to avoid the accident. So that's good that they didn't like ticket me for that. But then I got a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt and then not lowering my speed.
Okay.
All right. Well, here, Joe, real quick, and I don't want to harp on this too quick, and we'll get to Alex's question. But Joe, I'm tired of hearing this. I don't know. This is serious shit. You need to get your shit straight. You should know right now what those tickets are. You should know all of this information because the storm is coming. The bills will be coming. This is not going to be great.
I get that.
We
Joe, you need to listen to Ryan.
This is you.
Okay.
Yeah, listen to me. This is your doing. This is you, Joe. One car accident. So you need to get all your shit and all your ducks in a row. You should know, at least right now, how many tickets you got, what the tickets are for, what they cost, if available. This, I don't know, a couple $100, and it comes across, one, very poor, that you just don't give a shit about anything. You know what I mean? It's like, this is huge, dude. This is huge what happened to you. And it's not going to end anytime soon. The fallout from this is going to be quite a while, both financially, getting another car, figuring out how you feel psychologically getting behind the wheel again. You know what I mean? And there's just been a lot of nonchalant, blah, 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 whatever. It's a couple $100, not a big deal. Dude, this is a fucking big deal. And I want to hear that you're taking it seriously. And one of the points of taking it seriously is knowing what your fucking tickets are, at the very least at this point. I understand you might not have all the bills yet, but this is something that's going to be impacting yours and your family's life for a while.
Yeah, and I've got like a court date. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's whenever I'm going to find this out. I mean, I've got like a court date in November, so I got to go deal with that.
There's no answer you're going to give to satiate Ryan. He's making a cogent point here. Basically, you've never had to take care of yourself, and so you don't know these very important things. Like, you should know basically everything the doctors have told you. You should know the recovery time. You should know this stuff because it's important. And you generally don't live like that. So while the expectation for you to change 180 from that accident is probably unrealistic, it is what Ryan's trying to say is it's so important that this should be the moment that you start taking things like this seriously. Yeah, because it's, you know, and poor Alec, he probably just wanted to come on and ask, you know, how wide your butt cheeks are. And here we are.
If I pooped myself during the accident.
Well, we'll double back. I think when we get Higgins on,
we'll come back to it.
We will have three people against you then. So, Alec, what questions do you have for Joe?
Man, I feel like I've walked in on a friend being scolded by their parents, and it's just not worth it anymore.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, no, Ryan is absolutely right.
I've played Halo one too many times, and now I'm going to get a scolding.
Let him talk.
Okay.
So I'll give you a bit of relief with a question. So I was chatting to some friends recently. With the constant threat of more Avatar movies coming out, and with your recent bold claim of you being able to teach film at college, and also I guess this question goes to Ryan as well, as I also trust his opinion. We were trying to think what the next big like film gimmick would be, because Avatar obviously kind of had the 3D gimmick, and then I guess you could class streaming. Dual streaming as a kind of gimmick, and I was just wondering if you guys had any idea either what the next big film gimmick could be or what your idea would be. And serious answers, please, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe, I'll let you take this one first, and then I'll.
Okay. So I think Marvel's going to introduce a revolutionary new thing where in order to get the plot of the new like Avengers movie or whatever, you gotta read every single comic book that came out with Thor and Hulk. You gotta play every single video game that came out with Spidey and the Iron Man and shit. You gotta look at the back of the cereal boxes. That's got important plot information of the Thor Crispios. And yeah, I think like basically we're gonna see like a lot more like multimedia shit in order to like go see a movie.
Okay. No.
Yeah, that was. That was the serious answer.
Yeah, I mean, it already feels like that is how it is now at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're totally wrong. I mean, I haven't watched a Marvel movie in a really long time, but I assume that's what people do.
I mean, I don't know if there's going to be another. Right now, it's such a strange time because of COVID and coming out of COVID, and it seems like the push right now is a combination of date and date release. You know, like we just had with Halloween Kills this weekend, where and which HBO Max has also been doing, where at least in the States, where the film is released both theatrically and on a premium streaming platform at the same time. And that's been a big experiment with COVID. In some cases, it's not done great. Look at Black Widow, and that led to a lawsuit. In the case of Halloween Kills, it looks like as of right now, the movie is doing incredibly well in theaters, despite the fact that it's also streaming for a fee on Peacock. I think the film industry is going to continue for these big movies anyway. You're going to continue to see experiments involving streaming, working hand in hand with theatrical experiences. So I think the next film gimmick isn't going to be so much on the screen. It's just going to be release platforms and different ways to make it, and perhaps even different ways to make things interactive to give people and this is nothing new when television, of course, started. Theaters were like, well, what the fuck? Why are people going to come see art entertainment when they're getting entertainment at home for free? So that's when you started seeing these widescreen formats of different, coming out. And then, yes, you did see the initial 3D explosion in the early 50s, Jack Arnold movies.
They even had smell-o-vision for a minute.
Well, you just saw those sort of gimmicks, but and so it's funny now. It's the same thing. It's TV versus theater again, and everything is renews again. But as far as filmmaking incentive or gimmick, like a 3D type of thing, I don't know if we're going to see anything like that. It's just going to be like making people realize that certain movies like Dune, which is coming out, et cetera, need to be seen in a cinema on a big screen. That's part of the experience, but at the same time, how do you sell the smaller movies, the character-driven stuff that doesn't necessarily need to be seen in the cinema experience?
And it's like everybody has like 60-inch TVs as well. I mean, everybody's got big screens.
Yeah. I mean, but the people that have the funny thing is most of the people, I would say, and I feel good saying this, that have those big screens are the kind of people that we're still going to go see certain movies in the theater. They have that screen because they like movies. They're spending that money and going through the calibration, hopefully, if they really want true 4K experience, to have that done on those screens. Those aren't the people that I think they're having issues trying to reach. It's the kind of everyday people that are like, well, I really want to see the movie, but I got to get a babysitter. I got to do all this stuff. And if it's on Peacock, I'll just spend the $6 or $7 and watch it on Peacock. Those are the people. How do you get them? How do you argue against their logic and get their asses to the theater? And that's
I don't think they will.
Ryan was an early investor in Quibi.
Oh yeah. He was really, really disappointed whenever that got shot down.
Alec, Alec, hang on the line. We brought Trevor in here for a little bit before he has to take off.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Trevor, what do you got?
Oh, brother. Hey, everybody. How we all feeling today?
I'm doing okay.
We're doing all right. We're doing all right.
Oh, good. Good. Now, Ryan, I understand you're our foreign correspondent today, correct? You're in a new location.
Yeah, and I'm coming through on the phone because the internet.
That's right. Okay.
Isn't for at least for this. Maybe with Malevolent Movies recording, I can do the regular because I'm
sure.
Not having to be as integral, but yeah, for right now though, I am on the phone.
Very good, very good. Joe, I guess the man of the hour. Unfortunately, how are you feeling today, buddy? How are you feeling though? For real though, how was last time I spoke to you? We were doing a Malevolent Movies that you guys probably haven't heard yet. And Joe showed us his bruises and he looked pretty rough. How are they doing? Are you feeling okay? Are they getting any better?
I mean, the bruise on my leg is pretty much all gone, but I got like a big lump. I got like a big liquid lump or something. So I'm gonna go back to the doctor and
liquid lump.
That's your belly,
go back
dude.
to the doctor. Oh yeah, it's huge. It's got like a dip in the middle, a really small dip. It's weird. It's on the front of my body.
I'm gonna pop it live on the episode.
No, don't do that. That'd be a big sticky mess.
If it grows a bowl cut and starts talking, get a hold of us immediately.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll have a little Joe.
Oh gosh, we already got a big one.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, Joe, I don't really have any questions for you.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Well, I heard you guys talk about Halloween Kills. I know Ryan, I assume, saw it. Have you well, correct? You saw it, right, Ryan?
I did. I saw it yesterday, yes. And Tyler saw it
cool.
Thursday.
Yeah, Tyler and I have been talking about it here. I
called everybody after the movie.
I figured because I was talking to you afterwards and then pretty much all day at work on Saturday. We were talking about it after both of us had seen it. But what did you think, Ryan?
I actually really loved it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I have some nitpicks. I have some qualms, probably the same ones a lot of people do. But overall, also I'm withholding full judgment. I have to watch it more times, but and then see how it fits in with Halloween Ends, because it is the second part of a trilogy. But but I came out of that theater happy. And as a longtime Halloween fan, it's my favorite franchise horror-wise. I've been through the ringer. I've been through the Halloween 6 and the first reboots and the Resurrection and the Rob Zombie. And I you know, so I'm a veteran of the series. I've got a lot of scars. And I walked out feeling I couldn't wait to see it again. And I'm sure more viewings will show more issues that I have with it. And a lot of the critiques have been valid, but they don't stop me from enjoying it. It didn't stop me from having a great fucking time with this movie. I just had a great time.
You've essentially been in a Halloween car wreck.
What? This is
all going through all the troubles of the decades of Halloween fandom.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had a good time with it. There are things that I would change if I could. But I don't have a problem with the story. I don't. My problems are with dialogue a little bit and
sure. Oh yeah,
unnecessary. I think some of the legacy. Yeah, and I think some of the legacy characters weren't necessary. It was nice to see them though. So that's the thing, is it's a combination. I'm torn between the filmmaking side of it being like, well, they weren't necessary, but at the fan side of me, it was like, it was fucking great to see these people. It feels like home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just happy the movie is being taken seriously by real filmmakers. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's also, even if they screw up, it's still, they're taking swings. And I think David Gordon Green took some big swings with some of these legacy characters. And I enjoyed it. We'll see what happens with fewer, more viewings down the line. But overall, I had a great time with it. And plus I love that it's got a song, Ghost. I love the band Ghost, and they've got a song that they wrote for it. And it's great. It's fun to see that a horror movie has a new song at the end from a rock band during the credits. I mean, that's an old staple that we haven't had forever.
haven't had that in a while.
It's just, and I think the soundtrack is great. It's kind of lost in the movie because of the action going on, but listening to the album, I love it. I listened to it a million times already. It's certainly not my favorite ever. I mean, the first movie's perfect, but it's not even my favorite sequel.
Right.
Halloween 2, 3, and 4 will beat those in my estimation. But I had a great time with it, and I cannot wait to see what I saw in this movie and how it affects Halloween Ends.
Yeah. Joe, have you watched
my long-winded review?
No, I haven't. I volunteered. I was gonna
Joe hasn't seen
to go
Halloween
see it
2018 yet either.
Really? You
no, I got no interest.
Oh, boy,
I was gonna volunteer to go see it with Tyler, but he didn't like it.
Volunteer?
No, Halloween 2018
is good.
No,
very good.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy Halloween Kills. I'm talking about you haven't even seen the first in this new trilogy. You saw the last 20 minutes with Sean or something.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, because you were working at the theater then.
Yeah,
and he told Sean and Sarah they could go in. Sean and his wife bought tickets to see the movie.
That's right.
Joe said, "Go on in," and they walked in the last 10 minutes of the movie. So they spoiled the movie. The end of the movie was spoiled for them.
No.
Because Joe didn't tell them, "Hold on 10 minutes."
Bad ushering, Joe.
Sean was pissed. Because I remember the next day at work, he was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, I don't know. I don't know everything.
Man.
I was just starting being a cinema usher, so I don't know the ins.
I
don't know the ins and outs of every single little thing. I don't know.
That is fine. I had that same job as Joe. I understand. You were pretty fresh. Pretty wet behind the ears, whatever, green the gills. You were new, but more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Swartz is here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nick, I believe you have a prepared statement for us.
I do, and if I could ask Joe to just shut the fuck up for like a couple minutes, so I can tell him how much he means to me.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
try to get this back on the rails.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I won't do any jokes or anything.
Yeah, Joe. This is to tell you how much you mean to me, and it's it's a bit of a play, so I hope you'll bear with me. Give me a moment. I have to get into character. Well, hello, Tad. Ryan Jr. Come on over here, boys. Have a seat. You can call me Mr. Swartz. I was a friend of your grandfather. Well, when I first met your granddaddy, he was a weird, shy boy, quiet as a church mouse. But for long, he was the loudest man that ever did scream. He would shout and never got tired. Oh, he loved shouting. Well, your granddaddy and me, we'd get in all sorts of shenanigans. I'd make a joke and he would scream it right back to me. I sure do miss those days. It's been 70 long years since we spoke. Oh, how the time flies. Now, when I heard about what happened to him, I knew I had to scurry on over to your big old house and make things right. See, once your granddaddy started making it big, I grew jealous of him. I wished it were me betting all those big-breasted women. Your granddaddy sure did love big-breasted women. See, 'twasn't the car crash that did him in. And he was strong as an ox once he started eating them vegetables. No, it was heartache that finally did him in. Heartache from losing your dear, sweet granny. He loved your granny, and she loved him 1,000,000 times over. Well, he left you all the riches in the world. More money than any mortal man can spend in a lifetime. Making money sure came easy to him, but he'd be damned if he let green money rule his life. He wanted you boys to have this when you were older. It was the last magic card in his collection after he donated the rest. He gave it to me to give to you when you were old enough, and now it's time. I will symbolically tear it in half to give you each a piece. Well, I best be off now, but I just wanted to tell you boys before I go how much your granddaddy did mean to me. I know he's looking down on us from heaven because he finally made peace with God. You boys be good now. And that's it.
Well, thank you, Nick.
I just wanted
That's
to
beautiful.
Yes, it's Marvel put out a series called What If.
Okay.
And it's kind of like what could happen if this crazy thing happened in the past that changed the events of the future, and just kind of got me thinking and about how much I love you as a friend and how glad I am that you're still with us and how many wonderful years you have left forward in your life that we're going to hopefully spend together. Yeah. Fuck you, Joe. Fuck you.
I understand. I understand.
You piece of shit, Joe.
Well, no, I mean, right now I can't. Right now I can't drive over, but I'd like to come see you sometime, or
yes,
you could
please,
come hang out over here.
Yes.
You can. He still needs sponge baths, so you can go over there and sponge Joe up.
Joe,
I can't reach. I can't reach my ass.
Yeah, can you wipe?
This is like a Joe power reset. He's got no car. We have to pick him up and stuff again.
Yeah. Hey, Trevor, can I just get a little bit of a ride?
No, I live farther away from you than ever. I think right now.
Hey, Tyler,
farther away from you.
Tyler, could you just come maybe pick me up and then drop me back off at my house?
Farther away.
No, that ain't happening.
Lives twice as far.
And I hope your parents are listening, and I hope that they stick to their guns and they don't give you rides.
Okay.
Nope.
Answer my question, Joe. Can you wipe your own ass?
Until further notice.
So a couple.
Oh yeah, good thinking.
That's my soundboard. I can wipe fine. A couple days after, I was holding in my poop for a couple days after the accident because I didn't really want to push on my chest.
For pleasure.
You have to push on your
I wanted to have one large release.
His mom has to go in the bathroom and push out his belly.
Well, Joe taking a shit is like when there's that last little bit of toothpaste in the tube, and you got to start at the bottom and push all the way down. That's how Joe shits. He started at his forehead and just squeeze and move down.
Yeah. No, they gave me some stool softeners, so that loosened me up, and I'm able to poop fine now. I get a tiny bit of pain in the chest.
I don't care if you can poop, Joe. I'm sure you can poop fine. Can you wipe your own ass? Or does mom have
Yes,
to do it?
100%. No, I can wipe myself 100%. And even if I couldn't wipe myself well, I could get in the shower and let the water drain off my back and wash the poo-poo down the drain.
That wouldn't do it. You have to have one of those undercarriage washer attachments.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a
Joe,
bidet. Maybe I'll buy a bidet.
Do you stand up to wipe your ass? Do you stand up to wipe your ass, or do you stay seated?
No, I normally just stay seated.
Joe puts one leg up on the tub.
Joe goes back to front, and balls are always shitty.
Yeah. Well, I only shit in the tub, so I'm always laying down, and I just kind of put my legs up in the air like a little baby, and I just kind of I say things like goo 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 gaga, and I just make poop in there. Yeah.
Joe is tub girl. We just got to
could have been me.
We got to confirm that. We're burying the lead here, folks.
Yeah. All right,
I have
boys.
seen zero evidence that he is not.
Nick, do you have any questions or anything else you'd like to say to Joe?
Just that. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're alive, Joe.
Thank you.
All right.
So,
I am genuinely, but
yeah.
Boys, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for coming on.
Hang on the line, Alec. You're not going anywhere yet because you have been completely overshadowed by everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, is he still on?
Yeah, poor guy's still here. And what time is it where you're at, Alec?
It's only 8:10 over here.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Nick and Trevor, it was good to see you guys.
You too.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
Goodbye, fellas.
Yep.
Yeah.
So long,
We should hang out. We should hang out and watch a Zoom movie.
What?
Okay. All right, Alec. We got a couple minutes, and then we're gonna bring somebody else in. You're welcome to stay on the rest of the show because you've gotten shafted. So
that's all right. I can hang for a little bit longer.
So what would you like to talk about?
I mean, I feel like you guys have already barraged Joe with questions of the legal status of what's happened recently. I don't know. I mean, I was actually gonna ask about Halloween Kills because I figured you guys were gonna be talking about it. I'm genuinely surprised, Joe. Like the Halloween, I think came out in 2018. It's genuinely great. Like
I heard good things. Yeah, I heard good things.
I find it baffling that I still work in a cinema as well. And I find it baffling that you did. And I assume you've seen the old Halloween, right?
Oh yeah, I love Halloween 78.
Okay. Well, I think you'll like this one because it's great.
Yeah.
I
love Halloween 1978, John Carpenter director.
Yes.
Have you? But the thing you learn about Joe, I'm just sorry. The thing you learn about Joe is he doesn't like movies. He likes David Lynch movies. He likes Stanley Kubrick movies. He likes. He's starting to like more and more anime. And then he likes the occasional movie that is lauded. Your John Carpenter's Halloweens, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But in general, Joe doesn't get excited by movies or cinema. So he hasn't seen anything except for the usual suspects. He's probably never seen the usual suspects. I mean, the standard titles that you're going to see on certain lists. But in general, and Joe always likes to say he refuses to watch sequels. He's created this rule for himself where he thinks all sequels are terrible, even though there is evidence on the same list that he loves and follows that say there are some genuinely great sequels that exist, some that are argue are better than the original film. But Joe has created these rules for himself. And ultimately, Joe is not interested in movies as a whole. He likes Stanley Kubrick, he likes David Lynch, and he likes a handful of other things.
But I promise
and that's
you,
why. That's why.
In any episodes after December 25th, you are going to hear Joe for a hot minute talk about how much he loves the tragedy of Macbeth.
Oh, wow.
I like A24 films. What's wrong with that?
You love A24 films, so
they have made a very, very good curated collection for themselves.
See, that's the thing.
Well.
It's about auteurs. It's about curation. It's about people that are lauded, like Ryan said. Joe's not going to get invested in just the average release. Like Halloween Kills was a big deal. Like it like $50 million with a day and date release is like unheard of, especially for a movie of that scale as far as production goes. But Joe has zero interest in it.
Yeah, I just watched Pink Floyd The Wall. What was it? A night ago or maybe 2 nights ago, and that was very good. I like that.
Okay.
That's kind of
of course,
out of left
yeah,
field.
but that's something. Yeah, but it's also one of these movies that it's safe to say is good. It's safe for Joe to say that because there's not going to be a lot of dissenting opinions because it's on that list. It's on that ephemeral list of these movies are great and important and exciting, or they're very important cult films, or it's the cool list. It's the cool list. You know, it's not the film geek list because film geeks are watching everything, and that's what gets exciting is the film geek can sit there, and tell you about Pink Floyd The Wall and tell you about Citizen Kane and tell you about the Magnificent Ambersons, but then tell you how fucking silly and great Basket Case 3 is. That is the film geek, and that is what Joe is not. You will never watch Basket Case 3. He's probably never seen Basket Case 1, even though Basket Case does fall on that list of great 80s grindhouse films.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find it weird.
Yeah.
I remind me of me when I was younger and I used to live by the IMDb top 250. And you hit a point where you're like, these movies are kind of dull. And I guess I had the benefit that the cinema I work at's kind of not strictly independent, but they show slightly more, smaller movies. So I really got into someone like Sean Baker for a while in his movies, which no one had heard of in my immediate circle. And you go through other things. I'm really into bad 2000s Hollywood movies at the moment. That's my current trend.
Oh, okay.
Any recommendations?
Oh, we recently watched all the Resident Evil movies.
I've not even done that.
I recently played all the games, and one of our friends was really into those movies. Semi-ironically, I think those movies in particular are such. I kind of want to. I'd be studying. If I did my dissertation again, I'd want to do something on the baffling state that those films were in and the period that they were released in, because they just wouldn't get made today. There's so many 2000s Hollywood movies I just think wouldn't be safe to make, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, they're definitely making a lot less nowadays.
And you bring up the Resident Evil series, and even though they're not really connected, at least that I can think of, maybe production houses or producers, but I often put the Resident Evil series in the same grouping as the Underworld series.
Very similar.
That there was a stylistic. It seemed to have a stylistic Matrix-inspired kind of similar, vibe to them, and they just kept coming out, and I never watched any of them. So a couple of years ago, because there was a sale on Amazon, they had like the 5-movie Blu-ray pack of the Underworld films. It was all the ones that had been released so far. And I still, and I keep every Halloween season, I'm like, I'm going to watch all the Underworld movies. I haven't finished the 3rd one. It's been like 4 years. I just can't get through them. And it's like I got the 4th and 5th one in there too. They just don't do it for me. I mean, the first one has some elements, but overall, I just keep trying to get through that series. So I know I would never get through the Resident Evil unless we did like a Malevolent Movies kind of thing and it was, a project. Then I could. But otherwise, I just can't seem to get through some of these series. I'm not going to turn around and say they're crap. They're like, Joe, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I haven't seen all of them, but I know they're not for me.
We don't know. Resident Evil 7 could be an understated masterpiece.
There isn't a Resident Evil 7.
No, 6?
Yeah, there's 6.
I think 6.
There's
Okay.
6.
I was one off.
Hold on, before we lose Alec, because our next guest is in here. Hi, Morgan. How are you?
Hey.
Sorry. Hey,
welcome.
I'm doing well. And yourselves?
We're doing. It's a mess today, Morgan. To be honest, but Alec, you mentioned dissertation. Are you a film student?
So 3 years ago, I think now, I did like film production. So it was, what you guys do, we did like filmmaking and all the technical aspects of.
Alec, do you
production.
have your own film?
I don't. I mean, obviously, me and some friends would do short films and like mini projects. And then COVID happened. So I think a lot of us lost that creative drive. I'm sure you guys feel the same way.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's totally COVID. It has nothing to do with me being lazy, but yeah, it's COVID. It's COVID.
I sadly don't have a low budget film to plug like you guys. I'm
this is giving me an idea. I think this is a call to all fans. Submit any short film, feature film, whatever you got. I think it's time for Joe to watch what his fans are cooking, and Joe's going to review your projects. Okay. So you send us all, even if it's a fucking 30-second commercial for diapers, because Joe loves diapers. You send us what you got, and Joe is going to review this stuff.
That'd be great. Yeah, I think that'd be a really fun stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so please email that to malev.movies@gmail.com, malev.movies@gmail.com.
Yeah. Dig through the film trash that I have lying around.
Thank you. Yeah, you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be yours. If it's something you starred in, we don't care. We just want to force Joe to watch stuff that isn't his stock. It's beloved. I want him to watch some real world stuff. I want to see what you guys are making. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I'll check them out. I'll plug it in between my viewings of The Sacrifice, perhaps. No.
Waiting for that.
All right. Well, hey, Alec, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to chat with you. Definitely email over any short films you've worked on, okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right. Lovely chatting with you guys.
All right.
All right. Have a good evening.
Take care.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Cool.
All right, Morgan, please get us back on the rails.
Hey, how you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah.
Joe's healing despite himself.
I've been drinking plenty of sugar-free Powerades. I think those are just what the doctor ordered.
Oh yeah, no, totally. It's what any doctor orders when you got broken bones, I guess.
I got a fractured breastplate.
Well, still, I suppose that's better than
your
full break.
Yeah. Joe, do you I hate having to ask this because I don't know if I'm going to like the answer. Do you know exactly what wounds you have, Joe?
Yeah, I've got a level 1 vertebrae kind of fracture, and then I've got a breastplate fracture. I think I had a couple puncture wounds on my arm and a real big bruise. And that was the worst of it.
All right. Well, I'm glad you at least know, because you're just not, Joe is basically, Morgan, Joe is not really taking this as seriously as I think he should be.
I mean,
this accident.
It's like, what, Joe, you're in your 20s, so you're still pretty much invincible, right?
Yeah, I can't die is the main issue. Yeah, I'm doomed to wander this earth forever.
Sorry, jokes aside, though, I mean, fuck, I totally get that feeling, though. I
mean, I'll tell you my situation. When I was in the middle of a move, and I was driving, back from my old place where we cleaned it, and it's like 9:30 at night, and there's a group message, and I don't want to look at my phone as I'm driving,
right.
But I can kind of pull down the little thing, and all I see are fragments of, "Oh no, are you for real? Hospital," and I don't know who they're talking about yet because I can't look at the message. And so I'm like, somebody in our crew was really hurt. Oh shit! I get home, I open the thing, and I see that it's Joe. And we're all like, oh, my God. And we're getting all this conflicting information all night long. It was a Tuesday night.
Hey, Ryan, can I interrupt really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to rate of our group the list of most likely to get into a car accident and least likely.
Okay, most likely.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, who would you rather?
No.
No. That's kind of morbid.
Who's most likely to least likely? Maybe just to be in some kind of accident, whether it's a car accident, industrial accident, poop their pants.
Well, I mean, car accident. Yeah, I'm not. Car accident would be Joe for a myriad of reasons. One, he said many times, and we've already talked to today's episode, that he speeds a lot. Also, Joe has the least experience as a driver than most of us.
I got about 3 years. About 3 years of experience.
Yeah. So, yeah, Joe being in a car accident, it seems the most likely out of our crew. But as far as like industrial accidents, I mean, again, you put Joe in any one of these kind of scenarios, and you take all of us and you put us in some sort of what is that fucking thing in the movie Graveyard Shift? I keep bringing this up because I just recently rewatched it. It's a mill. It's doing cotton.
Oh.
It's a factory. Anyway, yeah, it's like a textile mill. And they got these big machines with these big teeth, you know, and they're very dangerous looking. At least in that movie. You take any of us in the crew and you put us in that job, yes, Joe's going to be the one to lose the hand. You put us in a situation where we're working with dangerous chemicals, yes, probably Joe's going to be the one to spill the acid on his forehead. I would, just because Joe doesn't seem to care about things, and he's kind of haphazard about things. Not, you know what I mean? So yes, I feel out of all of us in most of those situations, Joe, forgive me, but I feel that you would be the safe bet to get hurt before.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know
that's
what I mean?
Safe bet. I mean, if I was a gambling man, I would take that bet.
Okay, good.
You are a gambling man. You gambled with your fucking life. Not wearing that seatbelt.
Everyone. Yeah.
Dude, you weren't wearing a seatbelt?
I mean, I will.
Yes, no, Morgan, he was not wearing a seatbelt.
Dude, come on.
I forgot to put it on that day. Yeah, I forgot.
You said so,
that
Joe.
Day.
Joe,
Dude.
I appreciate the fact that in phase 2 you have been more honest, and at the top of the episode you basically said that sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's a forgetful thing. I think you can forget to put your seatbelt on, but I also think sometimes you choose to not put your seatbelt on. So let's get to the root of it. Is it just discomfort? You just don't like wearing it? What is it?
No, I don't think it's anything like that. It feels fine on me. I'm not really sure. It's just, yeah, I think it literally is just sometimes sometimes whenever I'm like in town and shit, like I'll have to take it off a bunch of times. Like I gotta stop at like the gas station. I gotta stop at the Dollar General or something. So I mean, like it's like sometimes you forget to put it on, sometimes you forget. Like sometimes you do, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, fuck, dude, you should probably count yourself really lucky considering like the injuries seem about as minor as they are, especially since you weren't wearing a seatbelt. I mean,
well, and Morgan, we touched on this at the beginning of the episode, but Joe was mere inches away from hitting a utility pole. Like,
oh shit,
yeah, so,
yeah, that's yikes.
Yeah, you missed the meat of the episode, which was Ryan really grilling Joe on just personal responsibility and taking care of oneself.
Yeah, you know, and we've been saying all along that phase 2, as it were, is supposed to be about events and Joe getting experience. This is not the event and experience I want you to have, Joe. You know what I mean?
Okay, just pain in bed. This is not what we're talking about. Yeah,
I mean,
having said that, though, this event should be.
We should be in phase 3 now.
Forward. Yeah, this should move you forward as a person and the lessons you learn from this more than any other event that you could have possibly done in phase 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've been kind of looking around for a new car. I've been yeah.
Oh, if you want some advice, and I don't know if you do, go to used car lots. Like you can buy them private, but you know, private folks generally don't have a lemon law like the used car lots do. Hondas are generally pretty decent, and Toyotas.
Okay.
Because Toyotas are basically unkillable, and Hondas, they're cheap, they're easy to source parts for. Hell, you could go to like a U-Pull yard and get like, you know, bits that you'd need if that's something you do.
Oh, I was gonna say I should.
My last car was a Honda, and it lasted for 170,000 miles, and it needed some work, but it probably would have kept running. But instead, I turned it in for another vehicle. But I think Morgan knows his stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna say I should maybe try like one of those like police like auction lots. Because like the police are just they're able to just steal shit from people and sell it.
No, I'm nipping this in the bud right now. You are not getting anything that remotely resembles a police car, because you are the exact type of person that would leave like the utility light on the mirror. You would keep it in the black and white, you know, color scheme, because you have this issue with the police, which is fine, but you would use that to your advantage, and I think that would go to your head, and you don't need that. You don't need that in there. Because you
Why? They don't pull over another fellow officer. It's the perfect crime.
No, you don't need that in your life. You know what you do need? You need a vehicle that goes beep, 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 beep when you're driving and you don't have your seatbelt on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
On the other hand, though, you get a police cruiser, Joe, and you can reenact your favorite scenes from the Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the Blue Brothers.
Joe hasn't seen.
I haven't seen the Blue Men Brothers.
Jesus.
Joe doesn't like
one of
good
those
stuff in
classics you
comedy.
should put on your list.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe won't get any of the jokes, even though he grew up an hour and a half from the city. He won't understand the Chicago
Well,
jokes and the accents.
I never went to Chicago very often.
I never went to Chicago very often.
Yeah, I've been there maybe 5 times in my life.
God.
But it brings up an interesting kind of point. I don't want this to be opening the door for your standard shit, Joe, so please don't use it as such. But, the things you say about police, et cetera, we all heard it. Were any police involved in the rescuing of you in this situation? Or was it strictly, were you assisted by any local police?
A bunch of EMTs. There was a cop there, and his only duty was basically to ask if I was drinking and cite me a couple tickets. That was about all he did. But no, the EMTs cut my doors off.
Or he probably showed up to also, direct traffic if anybody was to come around that corner and make sure that they didn't slam into the ambulance or something.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much out of it, just in pain at that point, so I couldn't tell you what all his duties were, but I didn't see him after that.
Be clear, Joe, you weren't drinking, were you?
No, I wasn't. And they took my blood at the hospital, so that cleared me up right there. So
is there a bunch of THC in your blood?
Well, I mean, there would be, because marijuana lasts in your system for weeks after you smoke it. So
yeah, because I don't know. They can decriminalized in Illinois.
Yeah,
I don't know
legal.
what the laws are pertaining to it in your bloodstream if you're in an accident.
There's probably a certain amount that you can't have.
Laws are. Yeah, I don't know what those are. So I don't know if that will be a factor. I think you would probably know by now, but
I would know by now. I mean, they haven't charged me with anything.
You're probably right, but there are tons of billboards up in the area warning people about driving high. So I would assume that there must be some sort of initiative in Illinois to make sure that, people don't right out the gate do something dumb, like, shove a bunch of edibles in their butt and then go for a late night drive while listening to Cum Town.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good show. It's a good show.
That crossed my mind also once the dust was being settled and we were finding out what happened and the status of your health. I thought also to myself, I hope Joe hadn't chewed a bunch of that shit, an hour beforehand. Because I didn't know at that point, I didn't know the details of where you were coming from. As far as I know, you could have been coming from Tad's house, I didn't know that you were coming from a kind of an employment. I didn't know you were coming from like an employment situation where you probably weren't, eating your weed gummies there. So
no. I'll tell you.
Joe, hold on, Joe.
I'll tell you.
I actually shared. Somebody asked me yesterday, what's the deal with the confusion over whether or not you were ejected? And like I thought about it, and I'm like, well, I'll be honest, I really don't know. It's either somebody in the family didn't know what was really going on. They got secondhand information, and maybe it was too soon. But I'm like, really, I would not be surprised, citing your indifference to organized crime stopping, the PD, that what if Joe had like edibles or something in his car and Joe panicked because he doesn't know the law, and so he got out of the vehicle, hurled it into the cornfield, and then laid down, to try and cut. Like,
help me!
I believe that.
I fell out of my car.
Joe, I literally believed you would do that because you don't know. You just don't know how any of this works. And so you panic and be like, oh shit, look at all these gummy bears. I gotta get rid of them.
No, I'll tell you exactly where the confusion happened. It's because my grandmother texted people like, hey, Joe has been in a wreck. He's in the cornfield. Because my vehicle was in the cornfield. I landed in there. But I think a lot of people assumed, I was thrown out of my car into the cornfield.
Okay.
I thought something like that was said on the Let Me Tell You About Discord, but I don't know.
Well, that's what Tad told me. He said broken arm, broken ribs, ejected.
Yeah.
And so probably not surprising that Grandma was saying that Tad heard from Grandma. And
yes, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the broken arm, broken ribs, was this just like when they were doing like a once over when you were laying on the stretcher, like you were just complaining, my chest hurts, my arm hurts? Is that where that came from?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that was the part of it. Yeah, my arm was really, really hurt because like I had the puncture wounds, and then whenever I moved it would really like hurt. And they forgot to put me on painkillers. They said that. Yeah, so that was nice of them. I got some morphine in me, like an hour into like the ER visit.
They may have needed you like sober and with all your mental faculties to answer like questions and whatnot, but
yeah, well, they said they just forgot. That's what that doctor said.
Okay, well,
maybe they saw Sit Boys and they're not a fan, and they're
give them a little bit of pain,
because it was 2 or 3 days after the film festival. Maybe they went and they drove and they parked and they got a babysitter and they made a whole big night of it to go see the local guy's movie, and it was Sit Boys that they saw, and they felt ripped off, and then he just happened to roll through his ER. And he got his revenge.
It's possible. It's completely possible. Yeah. So yeah, I went into the CAT scan. They scanned my brain. There's nothing wrong with my old noggin. I got X-rays. I got all that shit.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Wow.
Well, Morgan, thanks for coming on the show.
Oh yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks
We've
for
got
taking the time.
another guest waiting in the wings here.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions or anything real quick?
Oh yeah, no. I did want to ask, since it's spooky month, do you guys have like a favorite movie iteration of like the Grim Reaper, or like movie or book or like anything like that?
Of the Grim Reaper?
Bill and Ted 2.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted 2.
I'd say
my favorite.
mine's very, very loose. I'd say Lost Highway, the Mystery Man, is kind of almost like a Grim Reaper kind of figure, but it's very loose.
Grim Reaper.
I like there's this British company called Amicus, and they made a lot of horror movies in the 60s and 70s. They're more famous for their anthology movies. They made 5 or 6 great anthology movies. And I believe the first anthology film they made is called Dr. Terror's House of Horror. It's probably streaming. If you watch it and it's not widescreen, don't bother, because it has a terrible pan and scan and you won't see anything. But if you could get the widescreen version of it and watch it, it's fun. And it's basically it's an anthology. Wraparound is 5 guys are in a compartment on a train, and legendary actor Peter Cushing is there, and he's got tarot cards, and he reads the tarot cards, and each one kind of tells the story of all the guys on the train. That's the wraparound, and he's kind of like a Grim Reaper, and it's a favorite of mine because I like all the Amicus stuff, and I just rewatched it like 3 or 4 days ago, so it's fresh in my mind right now. So that's a good, it's an older film. Obviously, it's a 60s British, but it's got a lot of style.
Okay.
Yeah, I like their 70s Tales from the Crypt movie. I thought that was good.
Yeah, that's an Amicus, too. It's one of my favorites. But, yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you, Morgan.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Enjoy the rest of your day, and drive safe. Wear your seatbelt.
I always
drive
do.
the speed limit.
Well, I mean, out east, the speed limit's more of a suggestion, but
Yeah.
Don't put that phrase in Joe's head. He's going to say that for everything.
Oh,
well, you see the number.
It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, the calories are a suggestion.
Yeah.
Toilet paper's a suggestion.
Yeah. These just a suggestion.
Okay.
All right. On that note, I'll.
Okay. Yeah. You gotta end this, Gray.
Yeah. Thanks, Morgan.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Jesus, gonna have to bleep that.
What, just making a little joke. Nothing wrong with a little joke every now and again.
Joe.
Well, here we go. Bringing up the rear.
Is it Higgins?
It's Higgins.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh, snap. What's going on?
Nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm doing okay.
Good.
Before we dive in, Joe, do you remember the question we're supposed to ask old man Higgins?
Yeah. I heard something about how you got some kind of bony owl. Can you comment on that?
Jesus Christ.
The bony owl. God damn. That's. Go ahead, Ryan.
It's the bone owl. Bone owl. We were supposed to. One of the other guests said to make sure to ask you about a bone owl.
Yeah, that's an in joke that, like, I've gotten on all of y'all before about in jokes, because in jokes are exactly that in our particular group. But the man with no brain camp doesn't know about the bone owl, thus making the joke
No,
kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm. And
No,
Joe, do you know? Then you don't even know Joe either, do you?
I can't remember. We do Christian streams on the Discord, so that's where like a lot of this comes from.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
We
okay.
do. Every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I run CWC videos, and I've deemed my audience the miscreants. And it's an in-joke. My wife tricked me into buying. My wife has this like ongoing thing where like she tricks me into buying her shiny jewelry that she swears to me, "Oh, I'll wear it. I'll totally wear it." I'm like, "Honey, are you sure you're gonna wear it?" Yes, 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 baby. We've been through this, and me like a sucker always buys it for her. And guess what? She doesn't wear it. Oh, it pisses me off.
Ladies,
remember
women.
when Joe, shut up for a second. Remember when there's absolutely nothing that Joe can relate to in that story? That was like the most unrelatable story for Joe Buckley.
No, listen to this. Listen to this.
Gift giving.
I bought some chicken strips for Tad a couple days ago, and he didn't even eat them all. So I can relate. I know how you understand.
So it sounds like you bought Tad half a batch of tenders, and then you bought the other half for yourself.
No, we got 2 orders.
Yeah, there's no way they went uneaten.
No. I was actually having a little bit of a tummy ache there, so I didn't eat most of mine.
I wonder
either.
why. Because you fucking wrecked it against the console of your car. So the least you can do is actually try to put some nutrients in your body while your body's trying to recover.
Yeah,
I just ate some apples yesterday.
Oh, great.
That's good. I ate apples.
All right. Well, before
just continuing the thread of Joe not taking it seriously.
Yeah. Before maybe this will help. So we had one person. This episode is for Ryan and I disappointing. We had maybe roughly a dozen people reach out saying that they wanted to be on the show. Less than half of them actually followed through on communication.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You are one of 5 people.
What?
Yeah, we can always count on Higgins.
Thank you.
Yeah, and hey, the people that came on, very happy that everybody was great.
Yeah,
we have apparently several people who run rather productive lives that listen to this show, which is very disappointing. So I want you guys to do better for yourselves. But one person wrote in, Patchy the Pirate. That's what they go by on YouTube. They wrote in and they said they left a comment saying that they were going to write in. So I don't blame them. They had made it clear that they didn't want to come on. But this is what they wrote, Joe. Okay. Hello, Malevolent Movies crew, and more importantly, hello, Joe. While I can't bring myself to be on the show due to general nervousness, I did feel it proper to not only wish Joe Buckley well, but make sure he understands why I appreciate his content. I would say I am a bit of a man-child. While I have a job, am dating someone, etc., I still am using most of my time at home playing video games and rewatching some videos I have rewatching the same videos I have for years, to the point I can quote Best of Benny the Beast Volume 1 off the top of my head. Have no idea what that is. That's me saying that. All this to say that I would consider myself a bit of a misfit, and so when I am sad during 2020 with nothing to really entertain me, and I see Joe and Tad talking about game shows, and then right below it I see they made a Christian episode, it was a nice breath of fresh air. You see, Joe, what you do better than anything is not heckling, it's not your bits, and it isn't even being a shock jock. It is that to someone like me, you are very relatable. Like, you know how every show has the cast of wacky characters and then the one relatable guy for the audience to project off of. In a sort of backwards way, that is how the Malevolent Movies podcast feels. It reminds me of how I am in my circle of friends. So in a way, you make the podcast more comfortable to me. I think you have a habit of thinking you have to play things up for the podcast audience, and while I do enjoy that, you just being you is already something really special. I think you should appreciate more. I hope you get well soon, and I wish the person who wrote this message plays a mod. Okay, I wish that I think he's saying, and I'm sorry, Patchy, I'm fucking this up for you. And I'm just going to read it as he wrote it. And I wish that the fact that the person who wrote this message plays a mod for Jedi Academy under the name Short Stack Ewok because they think it's funny doesn't lower the quality of what I'm trying to do here. Anyway, I hope you get well as soon as you can. And before I forget, thanks to the rest of the Malevolent Movies crews, you guys are pretty great too.
Yeah,
So
he's saying like he's saying he probably like moderates like a Jedi Academy server, I think, online.
I'm glad that that's the thing you clung to there.
No, I was just clarifying.
No, my confusion was over the way he wrote it. This was basically one long run-on sentence, so it was a little difficult to read.
Okay.
But
well, no, I mean, yeah, thank you very much for writing in, yeah.
Patchy the Pirate is OG Malevolent movie fan, or the TM.
He's commented a lot. I tend to not engage the comments through that, but I see the comments, and so he's been around a long time. So
great. Definitely,
Joe. And what do you take from that? I mean, we say it's we're blue in the ass, but what do you take when somebody else that listens, they tell you these things? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate that people like to listen. I mean,
he's saying he likes you. He likes you for you. In other words,
I took a Norco today.
It doesn't have to be the referencing of Norco. It doesn't have to be the referencing of all the stuff. He appreciates that, but ultimately, he likes you, Joe. He likes you.
Yeah, that's good.
And you could also say in a roundabout way, he wants to keep you around.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna wear my seatbelt from now on. Keep an eye on the old speedometer. Yeah.
Wait, are you telling me that you weren't wearing your seatbelt when you got in your wreck?
No, I didn't put it on.
This has been a regular, or not intervention, but this has been a regular revelation for the guests on the show. Is everybody is shocked to learn this as we were?
Yeah.
Buck, dude, Joe, I love you to death, buddy, but you gotta wear your seatbelt. Even if the fucker fails, you still gotta wear it, dude. It's the only reason. Never mind.
Oh, it's okay. We've given Joe a hard time about this because Ryan and I have discussed this together in that we really were hoping that this would be a turning point for Joe. Not that all of a sudden, Joe, you would come out, 165 pounds, pure muscle, with a big-breasted woman by your side, but just that we would want you to take this stuff more seriously because as we were learning throughout the episode, Joe doesn't really know what's been going on with himself. Like he gets the general idea that, he has a fracture in the back, a fracture in the chest, things hurt, but he's going to kind of continue to live life the way he wants to. And we're trying to get him to understand that this is out of your control. Like there's only certain things that you can control. One, that's wearing the seatbelt. If you were in the accident, at least you would have been safer because another thing that you're probably going to be shocked to hear is that Joe was like inches away from hitting a utility pole. And if he had hit that without that seatbelt, he would be dead. And so there's just a lot that like accidents happen. They do happen, but there's ways to protect yourself, prevent stuff. And so like now you're out of a car, you're out of all this stuff, and we're giving you a hard time about it because we care. We're frustrated on your own behalf. Whether that's our role or not, it really is probably not for us to decide, but it's really hard because we do care. And to kind of illustrate that point, what happened, Joe, when I came to visit you the morning after, or I guess it was the afternoon after your accident?
You did cry and hug me.
I did. I walked in the room and it scared me. I didn't like seeing you. You couldn't move. You barely lifted one arm up. And that just, it crushed me, man, because I do care about you. And that's why when we get frustrated with you and we give you a hard time, so most of the time it's for laughs and for goofs. But sometimes we do get very seriously frustrated with you because we just want, we know the potential that's in you. We know that it's in there. And the hard part is convincing you that it's there because I would say that you don't believe it, but you need to believe in yourself. And a part of that is the little things like wearing your seatbelt. You're worth protecting yourself.
Yeah,
Same is true for me. When I heard about it, I was fucking beside myself. I'm just some schmuck on the internet who was a fan of the show, but goddamn, Joe, dude, when Tad said incorrectly that you were ejected from the car, I'm like, what the fuck? Joe's fucked. But, this is a second chance, dude. You don't walk away from a rollover. That's like one in, I don't know what the stats are, but you got to treat this seriously, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, I am lucky. I did get lucky.
And also, I feel that the taking it seriously is not just your health, not just making sure you follow the doctor's orders to make sure that you heal as best you can and as quickly as you can, but also, I don't want to get corny on this, but one could say this was a second chance type of thing because, like Higgins said, a lot of people aren't walking away, or from an accident like this, or at the very least, they have a life-changing injury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, maybe reassess kind of what you're doing with your existence. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and they
And
did say like
that's corny,
my back.
I get it, but at the same time, I can't help but think that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
said,
this is a serious thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, luckily, they said my back should heal up completely fine, so there shouldn't be like any kind of long-term damage with that.
That was my
That's
biggest
something
concern.
to be very thankful for. Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know if this is how accurate this is, but to Higgins' point, I'm reading a report on rollovers. Although rollovers occur in only about 3% of all serious crashes, they account for about 30% of people killed.
That's 1 in 3.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth it, Joe, because like we were talking about, like he got some tickets and things like that. He's got a court date coming up, and Joe just. And again, Joe, like I don't want to say that the expectation was your life should have turned around immediately, but this is like it. Your accident affected a lot of things, and I'm not saying that you're responsible for how I feel about it, but you know, when it comes to the legal issues, the bills, you know, the lack of transportation now, you know, everybody that cares about you, your family, your fans, your friends, the 3 big Fs, you know, like. There's a lot that goes into your circle of life. And really all we want for you is for you to care about yourself in the middle. You don't have to worry about the rest of us, but just take care of yourself. And that is understanding what those tickets mean. What kind of legal issues? Could you lose your license? How much do you owe? When it comes to the medical bills, how are you going to afford it? Like, what can you get taken off? Can you come up with a payment plan that doesn't bankrupt you? You know, because I know how much money you have, but I don't know. Maybe this could drain your bank account, which I know would very negatively affect you because your little life plan of how you don't want to get back to work may have to change now. Like you might have to get a job. I don't know. I hope it doesn't. Well, I mean, I want you to get a job because I just want you to feel like you accomplish something every day. But either way, like that could ramp that up to the front now. So like there's a lot that needs to go into consideration. And when we talk about thinking about these things, that doesn't mean you need to, like, you've got a full-time job now of Monday through next Sunday of figuring out your life. It's the little things. You spend 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, do a little research, you know, start getting a budget spreadsheet together. Like those things take time to develop. And it sucks when you have to break down your life into numbers and how do you pay your bills and what do you need to do to earn more income? But once you get beyond that, it's just a part of life. I have no qualm with being responsible anymore. When I was younger and as I got older, it was very frustrating because you go from having zero responsibility as a kid to developing into a full-blown adult. And yeah, it's frustrating and you see all the ways in which life tries to crush you. But ultimately, it doesn't happen as often or as deep as you would expect. And you become a stronger person. You learn to work, you know, in those boundaries. And we need you to start working on that. And again, for yourself, because we know that there's a strong, capable, independent adult in you. You just have to, you know, give them the opportunity to grow. Monologue over.
I've been working on like kind of like the financial aid kind of stuff. Like, I got like a bunch of documents signed and stuff like that. So I'm just waiting on them to get back to me. But like, so I'll have like $5,000 of insurance just from like my car insurance, and like it looks like they're going to be able to sign me on to like emergency like Medicaid or something like that.
If I could offer some advice from someone who's been there and was just there recently, fight it. Whatever ticket you have, the police are obligated to issue a ticket for reckless driving whenever you get into a wreck, whether it was your fault or not. Now, that being said, the first time I was in a rollover, the cop said to me, look, I didn't witness you cause the crash. I highly suggest that you contest this in court. Wink, 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 wink. Now, that's some good advice. That's a nickel's worth of free advice. No one actually witnessed you get into the crash. So what you need to do is when the court date comes, you need to actually appear in court and fight it.
Okay. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with Higgins.
Higgins
advice there because I haven't been in, thankfully, in any action like that. But I had a lot of tickets for speeding back years ago. Lost my license twice, all for speeding. And many times, though, I would have got a lot more trouble had I not fought a lot of those tickets. It would have happened a lot sooner. I get a lot of tickets from speeding. I just could not stop as a young man, just always speeding. And a lot of times going to court, cop didn't show up for whatever reason, or this happened. A lot of times the judge, is like, all right, we'll throw this out. It saved me a lot of money and so I agree. Contest those tickets because you have a good chance of getting them thrown out. And there you go. You've saved yourself some money, and the ticket's thrown out. It's not on your record. You know what I mean?
And when he says fight it, he doesn't mean go grab the bailiff's gun in the courtroom. He's saying just contest the events, okay?
Yeah.
It's not don't get physical, because sometimes I do worry that like you would just start screaming at a judge, and that's not what you should do.
Yeah, don't run into court and start screaming overruled every time he's the
You're under arrest, goddammit! You don't want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Well, no, you've got the perfect defense. I mean, you were driving, alongside a cornfield, and what lives in a cornfield this time of year? Deer.
Yeah, those nasty deer.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, just blame it on a deer, dude. You saw a deer, you hit the brakes, the rear wheels spun out, they came, the back end came to your front end, and next thing you know, you were tits up in a ditch, and that's all you know.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good.
Save yourself, you may very well save yourself some money, and like I said, the ticket on your record, a conviction, if you will,
Yeah.
Because at this point, I would say any corners you can cut to save yourself some money, because those bills it's a storm, man. It's a storm that's coming, and if you can cut, $5, $10, $20, $100, any corners, any paperwork you can fill out, any phone number you can call, anything, do all of it.
And don't expect your mom to do it. Don't expect your parents to do it.
Get as much taken off as you can.
I know that.
Need to do.
The insurance on your next vehicle.
There's a lot ahead, Joe. Right now, you're healing, and that's most important. But there's this. The ramifications of this will last a while.
Yeah, Higgins, go on to your point about the insurance. I think Joe needs to hear that.
Yes, Joe, this is no joke. I mean, this is something you have to do. The reason I urge you so strongly to fight your charges is so the insurance on your next vehicle doesn't go up, because you're going to be buying a used car that doesn't have full coverage. So you need to be. So you need your insurance rate not to go up. Believe me, brother, I've been there. So let me, impart some wisdom from someone who's been in a rollover, who's been smashed by people who fucked me over, and, fucking up my own damn self. I've been there. So my greatest goal, what I'd love to do is, show you the way so you don't have to, stumble from my mistakes.
Yeah. And I knew Higgins was involved in working in insurance. So maybe as soon as I got my phone back, pretty much I messaged him saying, hey, is there anything I should kind of do with this insurance stuff?
No, I don't work in insurance. That's just general life knowledge.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason you did. Okay.
No, I'm just, brother, I've been there before, and I'm just trying to guide you to get you a new fucking car.
And Joe, that's to the point of expanding your life circle. That's one of the benefits. I know you don't want to hear me say it, but that's one of the benefits of getting out there in the employment sphere. Is I know, it's almost cliche to say I've got a car guy and I've got an insurance guy and I've got this guy, but I have a lot of people that I either have worked directly with or have met through work or something, to where it's I now benefit from those relationships, even though I may only spend an hour a year with this person. I know that I can trust them and I can maybe get a deal on certain things. It's just that you need to get out there, because let's say if you didn't have us, and you didn't have the podcast, and you got into this accident, I can only imagine what you wouldn't know in that situation. Now, that's not to say that, we are your saviors, nothing like that. It's just by getting out there, but you took that risk by calling me to be in River City Panic. Now you know enough about certain things that you can actually go to people that you feel comfortable with. Because I can understand cold calling, fucking State Farm and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. They would probably laugh at you and be like, well, fuck off. But now you have some people like Higgins, like Ryan, like myself, Nick and Trevor, whoever else. You got a salt guy now. You got a wine guy now. We've learned from this episode. Like, you've got people. Like, you need to keep building that. And it's not just through the podcast, because some of these people, like we've learned, won't show up on the day. You need the people that will show up. And so I think that, and again, the Roxy, the movie theater that you love to claim fired you or whatever, they did not. You got laid off with good reason, because of COVID. They sent you a card. The manager reached out to me, like,
Really?
he was distraught. He had everybody put a card together. When you were there with me at the film festival, he wanted you to come hang out and do a trivia night with them. So you have built up in your mind that the Roxy hates you, that they're bad people, and that they don't care. But they do care. You just didn't like working, and that's fine. But don't conflate it with everything else. Those guys genuinely care about you.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, Joe. You need to apologize for all those rat jokes you made about the Roxy. Because man,
that's not a joke. That's a rat truth.
It's not. First of all, it was mice. I talked with Ryan at the film festival. He did say that they did have a mouse problem for a period of time. My parents have mice in their house. I had mice in my house. It happens. Now, could the Roxy do better? Absolutely. But unfortunately, it's not the manager's fault.
I do not have mice in my hair.
It's not the people who run it's fault. It's the owner's fault because he doesn't put the money into it that they need.
Yeah.
So don't blame them. They are trying as hard as they can, and they made the effort to send you a card.
No, I get.
That's pretty special. It's pretty special, Joe.
Who writes these days? I didn't even fucking send you a card.
No, you left me your card. You left me your card, and because I didn't have your phone number anymore, because I had lost my phone for like a day.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of writing, fucking water that plant, Joe. Don't let it die.
Okay. No, my plant's in my room right now. And yeah, I'm gonna like put like some kind of like plate or something under it to catch like any kind of water runoff, and yeah.
Yeah, just water it at once every 2 weeks, and it'll clear up the air in your basement. That's why we selected it for you.
Yeah, Joe, nice. Joe, Thank you guys very much.
Joe, does that mean that you tried to water it already and it just dripped all over the floor?
Whenever it arrived like maybe a day or two after my accident. And my mother did try to water it, and it did get all over the kitchen.
God. Didn't look at the bottom to see if there was like aeration, like holes down there.
I don't know what she was thinking. Maybe she was concerned about her son.
I mean, she probably was preoccupied.
Yeah.
If you want it to flower, you have to keep it in full sun, but the greenery will continue on in the basement.
Okay.
It's obvious, this plant doesn't like water. It's spitting it back out.
Yeah, it wants Mountain Dew. Give it Mountain Dew.
It's like a cactus. Yeah, it's some Powerade.
It's not a cactus. You gotta water it. Goddamn. Oh shit. My bad.
But yeah, no. Yeah, it's a nice plant. Yeah, thank you guys for that. Well, Higgins is the one who mainly sent it. I don't, because like originally there was talk about like collecting donations for it, but I think it's all on him.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Higgins, for doing that, Jester.
I think he's going to come back. I think we lost him here for a second.
Okay.
But to that point, Joe, like, and this isn't to say that, you know, your relationship with like the Malevolent Movies gang and like Higgins or whatever and Tad, you know, mean more than anything else. But, you know, this is like, you were in a serious car accident. We couldn't even get people to show up on the show. Like, I know that you revere your online presence, but this is kind of the reality of it. Like, your circle isn't as big as you would have thought. And I don't blame you because, you know, the numbers say that people watch and listen and whatever. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, you know, they couldn't make the effort to talk with you. And that's not their obligation. I'm not angry with anybody that emailed and then didn't follow through. I can understand hearing your voice on something that gets, you know, 500 regular listeners could be uncomfortable. Don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's just, I want for you to understand what your actual relationship with these podcasts is. You know, and I appreciate Higgins, and it's really everybody today. I think they get it. I think they understand that we do this for fun. Sometimes it gets serious, whether it's like for healthy reasons or frustration reasons, whatever it may be. But most of the time, it's just for fun. We want to have fun. As much as you were frustrated by the trial initially, and for most of us, it was just about the fun. And then, you know, we're going to do the live stream event. I think it's just time that we'll just do it at the anniversary of the trial. But anyways, it's like, don't hang your hat on all those people that may be listening, but they're not going to be there when you need them. And so I guess I think I'm just saying this over and over and over and over again because I really want you to understand how serious that this situation is because we care about you and we're worried. because I want to see you grow as a person. You can still say cum and dick and whatever you want, but and clearly we're learning that because fucking winery people are listening to this fucking show in New York. I don't understand this. What is wrong with you people?
That's why I was asking him. I was like, what's the appeal, man? What's the appeal?
Well, no, here's the thing. I think like humor's kind of like for everybody. I think everybody likes to laugh. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying like ejaculate or cum or shit or something like that.
I just mean in the longevity of the show. If you listen to 1 or 2 episodes, because some are goofs, but I mean, this is more of a journey type of podcast. You know what I mean? It's evolving it's evolved, quite far away from what we initially, kind of envisioned. And I like how it's evolved. But it's one of these things that, some of these episodes are not about the goofs and, like this one. And so if you're, I don't know how many laughs you're getting out of these episodes, but the people, there are certain people that are still here for it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's great. And that's, this is a somewhat unique, I would say, podcast, perhaps. If some random person would find it and go from episode 1 all the way through and this evolving thing, or maybe not. Maybe there's a lot of podcasts out there that's, maybe we should put this podcast under self-help instead of comedy. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's a journey, and I like that. It doesn't stick to any sort of, and we're not trying to fit a category into every single episode. Well, since we're comedy, or since we're this, that, or the other, we got to fit that into the episode. No, man, it is what it is, and you take it as it is.
And speaking truth to power, Jake just emailed us back and said, "I am genuinely serious about that job. We always need help. It's quite an easy job."
So get healed up, Joe. You get healed up.
Move down to New York, be the Midnight Cowboy, old Joe Buck.
Well, he said
coming to New York.
It would be move over to, not down.
Okay.
Yeah.
New York is not between Mississippi and Alabama.
I don't know where states are. I didn't really pay attention. I didn't really pay attention to that part of history class, I guess.
Imagine that, Joe.
Yeah.
Imagine that life change, moving yourself, to a town, a state you've never been to before, out of your comfort zone, but you're moving there to work with somebody who knows you from the podcast at the very least, so they know what they're getting into. So you have that cushion,
Ryan, I apologize. This is new to me, probably new to you. We just got a Higgins face reveal here.
Yeah, sorry about that, fellas. Fucking Windows 10 gave me a fucking pop-up that said, "Hey,"
or something.
"Oh, you want to restart, buddy?" And I'm like, "No." And I click no, and they're like, "Oh, so you want to restart? Okay, I got you, pal."
Yeah.
Mother.
Well,
that dirty Windows.
I'm having to do this over my phone, so I didn't get the pleasure. So
sorry about that, fellas.
No, it's fine.
God damn.
We're trying to convince Joe to move to New York and work at a winery because somebody offered him a job.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude, if someone, I mean, if someone offers you a job out of the kindness of their heart, you got to take it, bro.
you have to take it.
I got to go to New York.
Yeah, no. I'm fucking with you. No.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Well, the job as described, at least the main job, is Joe is just kind of there in case something bad happens. So he sits in a vehicle and just does whatever to bide his time, and in case something happens to the worker who's out there doing the actual work, if they get hurt or whatever, the chemical, I don't know exactly what would happen, but something would happen, and Joe's there to assist. So it's almost like a weird sort of security thing. But that's what they're saying, that's the bulk of the job would be Joe just hanging out in a vehicle. I mean, it does. And for like 15, what do you say? $15 an hour?
Yeah, 15 an hour.
Well, shit, man.
I mean, I do I have a job lined up if I have to have one. I mean, Tad says he can get me in to be a security.
You will have to have a job.
In the space of time, sure. I mean, 18 years from now, I'll need one.
From the Big Bang until the sun dies.
Yeah. But I can probably go be a security guard over with Tad.
Yeah, well, Tad ain't going to be there forever. though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Tad may leave there, and you don't have that in anymore.
Okay.
So you should strike while
You
the
know what
iron
I
is
mean?
hot. Also, Tad has said
Yeah.
over and over and over again, he just sits on his butt and he plays games on his phone. That's all he does.
No, I know. Yeah, that's why I'm somewhat interested in that one if I have to get one. Because I also like to play video games while working.
We've heard.
The problem with a security job gig is like, okay, yeah, you get to sit on your ass and do whatever for like most of the time. But what if some shit actually goes down? Like, you got to be prepared for that.
Well, so Tad says basically he's not allowed to touch anybody or do anything. If something happens, he has to call the police. That's his only job.
Like,
What
are
if
you
he
in like a
doesn't get a
locked
chance
room
to?
or something? Like, you're like,
You know what I mean?
like, are you sitting in front of cameras? I'm assuming.
He has cameras in front of him, but he has to like give truckers pieces of paper for them to get in.
So I was going to ask, what is he guarding? Well, you don't have to give away the business, but what
Fort Knox.
Yeah. I think it's just like a place for like truckers to like drop shit off. I'm not sure.
So it's a warehouse. He's a security guard at a warehouse?
I would assume. Yeah, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, oh God. Well, I'm glad you're
But yeah.
alive, Joe.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't think like the near death thing has kind of like really settled in yet. So
it may take a while.
It might not for a while.
Yeah.
But let it settle in if it starts to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't brush it away. If one night you're sitting there playing, whatever video game you're playing, binding a bill, whatever the fuck it's called, and then all of a sudden it fucking hits you like a ton of bricks, and that holy shit, I almost died. I caused all my friends and family accident. Of course, you didn't do it on purpose. Nevertheless, you did inadvertently cause all this stuff. And if it hits you and all of a sudden you start weeping uncontrollably, don't brush it away, man. Live in it and experience it and think about it.
Yeah, and if it's happening in a Wendy's, just
let it go. Just
go
let it go
the
through.
Staff.
Yeah.
Go get a hug from the staff.
If it manifests itself as uncontrollable mud making, let the mud happen.
Okay. I understand. If I'm at a Wendy's and I have a 50-piece bucket of nuggets, I will just sob and eat them in the restaurant.
Ryan, it's funny you mentioned like weeping uncontrollably. Joe, you saw the pictures of my van when I rolled over.
Yes, yeah. No, Old Man Higgins just got into a car accident as well. He was going to the Ren Fair over the weekend, and yeah, somebody got him right in the side.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because Joe's talking like somebody came up and punched you, and they got him right in the side.
Oh, he fucking got me right in the fucking jaw. But no, dude, when after the rollover, after everything was said and done, the next day when I went to the impound yard and saw my van, a crumpled mess of what it used to be, I did exactly what Ryan said. I broke down and I wept and just wept. And it was in front of another human being older than me. And the tears just wouldn't stop coming because that's when it hit. At the time, I got Mrs. Higgins out of the van and everything that happened, but it didn't hit, even, getting home at 3:30 in the morning and being to work the next day at 8, it still didn't hit, which was stupid. I should have called out. But when I drove to the impound lot and saw what used to be mine crumbled, it all came out, dude. So one day it's going to hit. It hit me quick. It hit me the next day.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. Some people just aren't wired up that way.
It might not happen. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen like pictures of my car, but I never saw it in person. I mean, that's already a cube somewhere at some thing. It was a $600 towing charge, so we signed away the car to them.
Yeah, that's
another
a gotcha.
Expense, Joe.
That's a
that's
gotcha.
Another expense.
Yeah.
That somebody footed.
So yeah, I got $400 for the Protege, and I paid the other $200 off on my debit.
Yeah. There's a lot more. The story is not done. This will be something that will affect the Man with No Brain and everything for a while. I mean, it's not going to be the thrust of every episode, of course, but there will be a continuing. The saga is not over.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping I can drive again. Like I drove my mom's car to the gas station like a day or so ago, and I was okay doing that.
Did you feel any? Yeah, I was going to say, did you feel any extra nervousness that you had?
I'm a little nervous, but yeah.
You know, I imagine I would. I probably would. You know.
Yeah.
Do you have any leads on a new car?
We know like basically a guy. So like a cousin is like with like a used car dealer. He's got like a couple good vehicles in like the $4,000 to like $5,000 range. And like my dad will normally only spend like $1,000 on like a car, maybe $2,000. So he doesn't really want me to spend that much. Yeah.
Well, Joe, and maybe it's in your best interest to spend a little bit more money than you normally would, because you from the beginning, you never had an investment in that vehicle. That was like, look at my fucking dumper, you know, like you didn't care. And I bought my first car. Like I've bought used cars before, and this one was pretty fresh. It was only like 20,000 miles. I wasn't excited about it because my other car died, but then like I started noticing that my car is always clean. It's always taken care of, regular oil changes, like on the dot, fucking checking the tire tread. And it's like, oh shit, I guess like when you pay for something and like you buy something that you want, like you tend to take care of it. Like that's why this house that I'm in now looks great. Whereas the last house I was in was basically just a constant set for whatever shenanigans we were into. I'll never do that again because
Tyler.
No,
Tyler,
we're not
paint
building any
sets
all
over your walls.
No, that's never happening. I'm never spray painting my walls again. You know, so like you have to give yourself a reason to care enough about something. So hey, maybe because you thought that thing was a piece of junk, you drove it fast and loose. But maybe if you buy something that suits your sensibilities, you can actually Bluetooth in to listen to Come Town. You know, you don't have to buy a peripheral to do that. You find ways to make it yours that you're not going to leave the popcorn bucket spilled on the fucking floor. Like you may, and maybe by virtue of that, you will drive more slowly because you want to keep that car. You know, like I'm not saying I don't think you'll ever drive under the speed limit, but I just ask that you drive maybe just 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, not fucking 15 or 25.
Yeah. Oh, and everybody's always confused about that popcorn bucket. That wasn't garbage just laying in my car. The popcorn bucket is a garbage can. But sometimes the garbage would overflow over the popcorn bucket.
I'm looking at that picture, Joe, and there's trash everywhere.
Actually.
You it's not like you like rolled over in a garbage dump. You were in a cornfield. There's no corn in the car, but there's a lot of trash.
No, what happened with that was the comic book shop I was No. The comic book shop I was working at was getting rid of like a lot of their shit. So I ended up with like boxes of like comics and posters and all kinds of shit. So the day I was coming home from that, I had a bunch of shit in my car from the comic book shop.
I'm lying. I do see one ear of corn in the back seat.
Yeah. I got just a little bit of corn.
You know, that's a whole. Do you know that the cornfield that you went through, who owns it? Is it owned by like a person, a government? I mean, is it state land? I don't know.
No. I think it. Yeah, I think it was the people who checked in on me. And I don't think they're really concerned about the damage to the cornfield. They haven't like tried to gain contact with me or anything like that.
You know, because I don't know this. You know, because thankfully I haven't been in this situation. But what's the obligation of the driver to the property?
So my dad said, like, my dad said it would be on the farmer to contact my insurance, and it would be about $10 worth of damage to the corn.
I was going to say I wouldn't be too concerned about a few stalks of corn. I mean, that's small potatoes.
But you missed it. But did you do any damage to that utility pole? I know you barely missed it, but didn't you graze it? Did you do any damage to that?
No.
Because I know I took out a stop sign once, and I had to pay for the fucking stop sign, and I didn't get to keep it. It was icy, and I slid into a stop sign, knocked it over. My car went over and got stuck. You know, and I got a bill or a ticket. I had to pay for that fucking stop sign.
Joe, your dad showed me a picture of the side of the utility pole. I'm not saying that you did structural damage to it, but he showed me the side of the utility pole and said that's where you scraped it.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize I scraped it because, like, as it was happening, like it was over in like a matter of like 10 seconds. All the flips and shit, and like my glasses fell off. Yeah, my glasses fell off right away. So I mean, I couldn't see anything on my car or anything like that.
Joe was in a kaleidoscope.
Now you know, because your dad told.
Yeah, I'm blind. I'm like legally blind without these glasses.
But
I
you
can't
know,
see.
what I'm saying is, where you know you did this. It's a fact because your dad told you, whether you saw it or not. You scraped the pole. That's why we're saying how close you are. You were inches away from hitting that pole head on. Not even that.
Okay.
You slid. And so I don't know if that's a pole. It's state property. You know, power line. I don't know if there's. That's why I'm asking. I don't know.
I would assume it's. I would assume it's on them to contact the insurance. Yeah, if they want to press charges on the pole.
Press charges on the pole.
As long as you don't bring the fucker crashing down, I don't think anyone cares because people staple bills to those things all the fucking time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Help! Find my kitty cat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
but yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I've been doing okay. I've just been kind of resting. I've been watching some like shit and stuff like that. So.
Well, good. Take your. You know, there's a lot of things to take seriously, but you know, ultimately, right now, it's just imperative to take care of your health. Quit. You know, I know you went somewhere with Tad. Maybe don't do that for a little bit. I know you feel you can, but just because you're not feeling pain doesn't mean there's not damage happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get that. I just wanted to get out of the house for a minute.
And that's understandable, and you should get up and walk. But, you know, it's only been, 3 weeks? Coming up on 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And
it would be about 3.
You broke something in your back and something in your chest. This isn't, you know, and that bruise thing that was going up your leg and your ass cheek that we saw, that is no way in hell that is gone. That'll be there a while.
Well, so like all the
that could turn into something bad. So
it could.
Keep an eye on that. You don't keep an eye on that. I'm just saying, take it easy.
Yeah,
I got like a big much pain. Take it easy.
I get you. I get you. I was gonna say I still got that like big ball of like liquid.
You get me? Your fucking actions will prove if you get me. Again, Joe, I've said this time without number. I know you understand my words, but do you understand the content of my words?
Sometimes it's hard to think of like all the words and put them in the right order in my head and just kind of like
just put it into action. Take it easy. I'm asking you to lay on your fucking ass, Joe. I'm asking you to do nothing.
Okay. That's my favorite thing to do.
You to just chill at home.
Yeah.
Don't go to Wendy's or wherever the fuck you went to with Tad. Don't just have Tad come over. Have Tad come over and do your stuff.
Okay.
Well, the internet doesn't work good. Well,
you know what would be funny, Joe, is if you and Tad did an episode of his podcast in bed together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We could have the webcam up. We could be laying.
You could do like you know, all those people that like talk about like murders and stuff like that, and you can call it Under the Covers with Tad and Joe, where you get you go undercover to figure out you know who killed Johnny Law, you know, down in Memphis, Tennessee or something. I don't know.
I like it. Every episode they end it with a thing. Okay, well now we're going to check in what is under the covers, and one of you has to reach down under the covers where the other one has placed a special object. And they have to feel it and try to guess what it is.
It's his penis again. It's Tad's penis.
They have to guess what it is, and then, then they pull it out and see what it really is. That's a little hook at the end of every episode.
It's like a warm caterpillar.
Yeah. Oh.
Very small and fuzzy.
Well, me and Ted tried out a call-in romantic advice show, so we could maybe do that, like, in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was shit.
What? You didn't like the romantic call-in show?
Yeah, that was shit.
No. I didn't like it, Joe. There was some awful comedy in there.
Okay, that's fine. Not everybody has to like every single.
I told you that.
Okay.
I think the problem with that was that Tad was trying to emulate Loveline, but he didn't live through Loveline.
Yeah. I mean, Loveline's like from the 90s. I mean, that's ancient.
Mm-hmm.
That's ancient.
With Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
But it's not so ancient that Joe didn't try to rip it off.
Well, listen, there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from different things.
Yeah, I appreciate trying new things, but there's...
Well, Joe, I hope you know that if for some reason this car accident goes to trial, we will be there with microphones. So, trial 2.0.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, at least it's not as bad as the CWC trial, but yeah, I mean, we can live stream it.
No. God damn it, Joe. I made you promise me to not talk about that nonsense anymore, and you promised me you would not.
Wait, what Wasn't that like years ago though?
No, that was when the whole hullabaloo, when I fucking saw headlines, Tucker Carlson discusses trans something, and I'm like, oh my fucking God. And then I knew that, Chris Chan was in the lexicon of like 80-year-olds conservatives. And so then I messaged you and I'm like, just stay off this. Like, you don't need to do this anymore. God.
The boomers found Chris Chan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was frightening.
Old man Higgins finally learned about Chris Chan.
Yeah. No. He's an ancient Christorian. He knows all the deets.
I am actually.
But I believe that if I were to want information on that saga, I would go to Higgins and not you, because I don't believe you retain information properly.
Okay, that's fine. I understand that. I may have got some of the details wrong.
I'm gonna Higgins, some or all? Did Joe get most of the details wrong?
No, he got most of them correct, but like when I listen back, like that's how I found Joe, and by proxy, that's how I found all of you. When I listen back to the Chris Chan episode, I'm like, no, that's not correct, but that's okay. This is very entertaining. And I can forgive a lot of factual, non-fact for entertainment value, which I got. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
We need the man with no brain, aka forgiving Joe Buckley.
Pretty much.
Thank you.
If you're sleeping with your mom, you better fucking tell me right now.
No, I better keep my mouth shut. That was the whole downfall of the thing.
I sat in a movie theater with your mother as you described the size of her breasts on the screen.
But
I don't think she was. I don't think she was too happy.
No, she was not.
Oh, for shit, boys. Okay.
No. It was Benevolent Buckley show. It was.
Yeah, it was in Benevolent Buckley.
Yes, White Trash Peg asks Joe what size his mother's breasts are, and Joe gleefully describes them.
Mm-hmm. I thought, okay, well, I could. Yeah, it was for the show. It's still uncomfortable. I was, in my mind, I thought you were saying that you sat there while Joe, next to his mother, live, talked about her boobs. I was like, what the fuck? I'm hanging up.
No.
Okay.
Let me put my fingers in my ears. La 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 la. It was just a bit. Yeah. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite uncomfortable, Joe, being there with watching your mother as she just cringed in her seat.
Laugh?
Oh, well, I was only the actor. I wasn't the script writer.
But that was improvised, Joe. Someone asked you a question and you went a whole hog on it. But anyways, she did laugh. Joe's lovely father sat in that movie theater for probably 10 hours after working a full shift. Oh, wow. Because Benevolent Buckley show played early in the day and Sip Boys played at the very end of the day. And he sat and waited the whole day. Like, that's a fucking dad right there. Like, or at least a loving parent, because there's no way my family would fucking do that, especially after they've seen it before. So your parents fucking love you, dude. So, do them a favor and wear a seatbelt.
Okay. I will be wearing a seatbelt every time from now on.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Your family, your friends, and your fans love you, dude. God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent a man flowers. What?
Yeah,
that was a lovely gesture.
I wish you had sent him a cactus. I wish you had.
You know what? I was debating between the peace lily, which I have right behind me, and a snake plant. Same thing.
Loaded with boa constrictors to bite him.
Just to clean the air in that basement. And I swear to you, if you keep it watered, it'll do exactly that.
Okay.
Joe, do you have
Tyler has...
Yeah, you don't change the trash. So you've got food and shit in there. It's filthy, man.
I try not to put food in my garbage can, but I leave.
But you do, though. I love you, Joe, but this is vivid in my mind. You're sitting there playing Binding of Isaac. Your parents made you, a fucking slap steak or something, and you ate what you could. You left the bone with the gristle and shit, and you hucked it in the trash because you weren't going to get up. I'll be honest, Joe. If you confided in me that sometimes you poop or pee in it, I wouldn't be shocked. That silence said everything, Joe.
No. Listen. I'm willing to admit a little something on the man with no brain today. Very occasionally in my past, I have pissed in bottles and thrown them in the garbage. Because why? What's wrong?
You
with
have you have a sink that's 20 feet away that I have watched you not. Well, it was on the when you got drunk and told Ryan about Jaws. You pissed in that. You couldn't get up and go 20 feet.
Whenever I was a teenager, my brother also lived in the basement, so it wasn't safe.
What wasn't safe?
It wasn't safe.
It wouldn't be safe to go piss in the sink because he could come out at any time and like poke your little dick.
Oh no! As if you getting judged would be a problem.
I'm stuck at this point where why you can't go upstairs and use the bathroom.
Well, it would be like 3 or 4 a.m. I would be watching Adult Swim. I would be watching a little Showtime. So you're not really. Yeah. I don't want to wake up my mom and dad.
You're not allowed to wake up in the middle of the night and have to urinate?
No, I just didn't want to wake them up. Because then, like, they might hear, like, some of the Adult Swim.
You just don't want to get up. Just be honest. You don't want to get up. For some reason, you are so entrenched in that anything that is out of my way is a problem that you're going to pee in a bottle. Like, you're 26, bud. You're going to be 27 in a matter of months.
I haven't been pissing in the bottle this year.
You've been pissing in the sink. I've got video proof of this.
But I was drunk. Can you blame a drunk man for what he does? I don't think so.
I almost want to give you leeway, but I know that you still do it when you're sober. I know you do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Joe, be honest with me. In the last 12 months, have you pissed in a pile of, like, blankets in a corner?
What?
No. No, that would just be nasty. No, the pee has to be in a container.
Nasty. Drawing the line in. Your mom, like, hand washing something in that sink that you pee in.
He just goes, he just goes in and pisses into the washing machine, then turns it on a cycle. Washes it right out. That's why they got electricity bills.
It's ammonia, Mama. It's ammonia.
It's just like bleach.
It's just as good.
As a third generation piss bottle man, the only time it's acceptable to piss in a bottle is when you're on the road.
Exactly. Yeah.
Higgins, are you a trucker?
No, actually, I drove a panel van until I got into the rollover, but I had all the, as a panel van, most of it's, you don't have windows, and the windows I did had were covered with privacy film. So you can't see in. So, hey, if we're on the road driving to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival and I got to piss, but I don't want to take up time, pull over. There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
They make journals too for travel. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well,
they actually make those.
Yeah.
Sometimes those things happen, but that's because there's no other facility. I
was going to say.
In the basement thinking, I don't want to walk upstairs to pee in the toilet. I'm just going to piss in this, Mountain Dew voodoo bottle.
Yeah, if I ever have a clean bathroom available to me, I'm going to take it. But, piss bottle, that's in the gravest of circumstance, i.e. on the road. That's the only time that's acceptable, my dude.
Joe, does your mom change your garbage can?
No, I throw it out. I take it outside. I throw it in the garbage.
How often? I'm guessing once a month.
Whenever it fills up. Yeah,
no, it's not whenever it fills up, because the last time I was at your house and I told you that it smelled bad and I was wearing a mask at the time too, I saw garbage poking out of the lid.
But that's not completely full yet. That is full. I can sell stuff.
That is full. That is full, buddy. Yeah. That is full.
Okay, that's fine.
If the lid is no longer being a lid, it's too full.
Yeah.
Okay.
The lid is to keep it in and keep the stink in, but once the stink is out, you got to get rid of that. Sometimes there's stuff that just degrades immediately, and like it's just ruined.
Okay.
It doesn't mean just pour more garbage on top and wait. You get rid of it right away. And you're not worried about buying garbage bags. Your mama got it for you.
Yeah.
The thing of it is, I think
Joe.
What?
I was just saying to Tyler's point about the degree. Some things start to rot immediately. One of my only hardcore during the time where I was a boss, if you will, the only rule that I had in my department amongst the few employees I had, the hardcore rule where I was hardcore about was like, do not throw any banana peels in the garbage can in our department. You take it over to the cafeteria.
Leave the goddamn banana peels alone. You take your banana peels.
Seriously, I was like, I'm not fucking around. That was my one major, if you want to see me be a dickhead, you will leave a banana peel in our garbage to stink. I can't stand that smell because it was one of those instantaneous things. So yes, there are certain items that you throw away far away. You don't leave them in your little room garbage can for 6 days. And the next time someone gets Joe a plant, it needs to be a Venus flytrap, because I guarantee you the gnats and flies that are all over that place. Legendary.
Ryan, no, that thing's
no bugs. No bugs.
It's soft and warm on the inside.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen such a slutty little Venus flytrap.
Ryan, to your point, I had to drop the same fucking line of, demand on my work. I had to teach them the difference between trash and garbage. You don't throw garbage at your workstation. You just don't do this. So, Joe, you have to know the difference between trash and garbage. Trash, it's paper, it's whatever, who cares? But garbage, you got to keep a handle on that.
Yep.
I get you. Yeah, maybe I'll take it upstairs a little bit more often.
Oh yeah.
I would say anything that's organic, Joe, take it upstairs immediately. And that whether it's cheese on a wrapper, whether it's grease from some French fries, whether it's a bone from a T-bone that you suck down, or whether it's a bottle of piss and a bucket of shit, you take that upstairs too.
But then again, I'm spoiled. I live in the woods, so whenever I eat an apple and I just got the core, I just pop open the back patio door, wind up, and
that's
now,
perfect.
Joe. That doesn't mean that you find the nearest window and you huck a T-bone or like a salad your mom gave you out the window. All right, then you're gonna get raccoons. And the last thing we need is you being friends with raccoons.
Animals will eat it. I'm sharing with nature.
Ryan, remember when we talked about this and we were like, let's do a serious episode where we dig down deep with Joe and we just try to get him to understand how much life is worth living, and we care about you, Joe. We love you, Joe. And here we are. Just take the fucking trash out.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that the essence of it, though?
It is.
Isn't that the essence of Joe Buckley? I mean, even in the face of this life-changing event and the seriousness of it, at the core, we're talking to Joe Buckley. And these things to Joe are just as important as anything else. Joe's garbage life, his pissing in bottles. I mean, it's the essence, of Joe Buckley. So really, it's ourselves. It's ourselves that we're foolish to think that we were only going to be able to stick strictly to, him, his car accident and well-wishes. We knew it would turn into, ridiculing him about his lifestyle. Because, that's the essence of Joe Buckley. There's only so many topics with Joe, really.
Yeah.
It comes down to, Joe.
Well, no, don't you want to talk about my Plex? Don't you want to talk about my Plex?
No, I'm not bringing up your fucking Plex.
I think we've done the best episode we ever could on Plex. I think the Plex chat is we the trial of the Plex is over. The verdict is that Joe will only watch 15 movies a year, and we have come to terms with that.
Yeah, it's fine, Joe. I know that I will never know, and that's fine.
Joe, did your Plex fuck up there for a while?
It did. Yeah, I downloaded like a server update and it fucked everything up. I had to redo all my posters. I had to put things back in order. But I think I got it down now. Yes, if you want to use it, you feel free.
No. For a while there, I was sad because I tried to access your Plex, and I don't know what you guys are talking about. I have crystal clear when it comes to watching Joe's Plex. I've never. And for a week there, I was like, oh my God, I can't access Joe's Plex. Did he ban me? Is he mad at me? Oh my God, did I make fun of his protege? I was legit like, oh shit.
No, but sometimes I just have issues with like the internet and shit. I have no idea what goes on, but yeah, I think it's straightened out now, and everybody should have access again.
Also, thank you
for.
Well,
I'll be honest. I only tried.
No problem.
A couple of times. I tried a couple of times with a few documentaries that were hard to find or out of print. That he was gracious enough to get, so I could see them, and then I could never get through. And I honestly haven't tried in months and months and months. So maybe I could.
Yeah. I'm still collecting. I'm still trying to find weird stuff, but who knows at this point?
Yeah, well.
Thanks for the update. That was Plex chat.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta take off.
To heal and watch stuff. Yeah. We got another recording to do here in a couple hours. So.
Yeah, and I have to write out my parts. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been banished from this one. I got the curse of non-attendance. I cannot be on my own episode.
Curse of non-attendance. God, I wish you were always cursed with that. Higgins, thanks for coming on as always.
Yeah, thank you. And speaking of other recordings, I appreciate you, and thank you for the Fight for Summer Fright. I enjoyed it immensely. Thank you for all of them. Fucking Aquanoids, fucking Uninvited. That shit, the fucking cat jumping out of the cat. Goddamn.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate
there's a lot of goodies coming.
Yeah, we got some
we're
shit.
in the middle of Bad October right now, so there's 6 movies there. So there's a lot of goodies.
And it starts off with a whimpering fart. So
yeah. Oof.
Is it a fart into a salad bowl?
No, it's a fart into space. It's called Spaceship Terror. If you want to check it out.
Oh boy.
It is. No. It is on free for. I think it's on Tubi and stuff. So I mean, if it did at your very own risk.
Yeah,
I stress it enough. At your own risk, do you attempt to watch?
And don't watch it with your wife. Do not watch it with your wife.
Yeah, no. Mrs. Higgins is very far removed.
Yeah, don't watch it with anyone whose opinions of you value.
But thank you, fellas. Thank you for all the work you do, Tyler. Your work is fucking top notch. Brian,
I appreciate
you're
it,
bro. I love you to death. I love all y'all to death.
Thank you.
And Joe, I love you, dude. You got to be careful from here on out. You got a second chance. You know.
Yeah.
Take it seriously.
Joe, why don't you take us out? Give us a little poem about life.
Oh, okay. Let me think. Well, I mean, here I sit, broken-hearted.
Went to flush.
Thought I needed to shit, but I only farted. And that's kind of life. I mean, that's life right there.
Was there a bark in there?
I think there may have been.
One of them was like, there was like a. Hold on. Not that one.
No, the funniest fucking shit was when Joe stepped up and said, "Yeah, I got a button too."
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, no. Thank you, everybody, for checking in with me. Thank you for caring. For considering me a friend. So thank you very much.
Cheers, Joe.